Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We did it.
We're doing it.
We're live.
Guys.
This is our first time on with this setup, working in the way that we have it working right now. So if you can't hear us, if you can't see us, if something's wrong that you're noticing, let us know in chat.
Please.
Because we'd
Please,
love
God.
to do our part to remedy it right now rather than halfway through the stream. When we suddenly realize. If something changes, though, also speak up, because we'd love to hear. But welcome, everyone. Welcome, Pop and Amber and Ellie and everyone else who's hanging out and all you lurkers out there. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to Starfound. We are an interactive... Yes! We are an interactive, actual play Starfinder game where you help determine the destiny through the tips that you make, which helps to support everyone in here. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. I'm GM Miles. I'm also known as Geeks for Good. I stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/geeksforgood, and I'm also a professional GM, so if you bored as fuck in these times, hit me up on milesduffield.com, because I have a real name as well. Anne, let's do you. Plugged. Anne, let's go for you next.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, welcome back to Hearthsinger Games. If you are new here, we make all kinds of storytelling-focused content, and this is our Thursday night show, which we are always happy for, and I want to make you... Ooh, thank you for the cheering for me.
The cheers!
Thank you.
Baby boys!
Yeah, I wanted you guys to know, of course, and you'll see it come throughout the evening in the chat, links to the Rook and the Raven, who is offering 15% off of orders with code STARFOUND, and if you click that link, they'll know that we sent you. And of course, we also have our awesome Level Up Dice partnership as Diceomancers. I just got to guest on their show last night, which was awesome.
It was so wholesome.
We talked about, we played a game called Ren Fair Con or Both, in which my friend and I tried to convince Diana, their social media manager, whether you would see something at a Ren Fair, a con, or both. So you can go and check out Level Up Dice for some incredible luxury dice options. We like the dice, and we want to share that with you. The more you check things out, I think if I type in dice link, oh, it's already there. There it is. It's happening. Thank you, Nightbot. Woo!
Nightbot's faster than you.
I'm doing it. But yeah, the Nightbot will give you the link there. The more you guys use that link, even just to view, the more options we may have in the future for offering some awesome luxury dice giveaways.
So just give us a click.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, I say let's get into it. Should we introduce ourselves?
We have to introduce the rest of us, because that's what
I
was trying to do.
I'm Anne Rich. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I got scared. I'm Anne Richmond, and I play Captain Amaryuk Yuka, First Claw of Clan Yuka, and Vlaka Solarian.
Fantastic. Next up, Dex. Oh, Jabby. Oh.
It's all good. I did that last time.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello, Internet. I'm Dexter Warren, and I'll be playing Jabberwocky, Skittermander, Technomancer, and enthusiast of hugs and friends.
Great. Kia.
Hello, I'm Helena Anderson, also known as the Magic Llama Mood, and I play Jaleskia, who is a Kasathan mystic scholar with 4 arms, and it's about 3 too many for her, honestly.
And finally, last but not least,
hello there, my name is Parker, and I play Caster9, android mechanic, pilot of the Kingfisher, and an always dapper gentleman at your service.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for coming. Yay, everybody! So, when we play this game, you can tip us using Streamlabs at streamlabs.com/HearthsingerGames. And when you tip, which you can find all of the tipping levels down below, or you type !tip guide in the chat for the full list, you get to affect our story by giving anyone here bonuses. Important items, it could be healing, there's a bunch of different options, right? You can, now these tips, all of the tips that you pledge go to supporting our cast, and like many of us, no, all of us have lost some degree of work due to the various different shutdowns, right? So every dollar you give means more now than it ever has before. So thank you so much. Now, if you also want to help on a more regular basis, so you can forget and go away and keep helping these lovely people, check out patreon.com/starfoundpod, which that money helps go to producing our content, because right now we're losing a little bit of money every month because we pay the people that we have edit for us and that help out with the stream, right? So please check out our patreon.com/geeks, wrong link, patreon.com/starfoundpod, and you can find it by typing !Patreon in the chat for a link. What else am I missing, Anne? Right, we're also a
That
podcast.
seems- yeah, we are a podcast.
Why don't you tell us
yeah.
about the podcast?
Oh, okay. Well, guys, you can find us on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud for now. And we are, always looking for new things. I've seen some people request that we go on to Stitcher Premium and things like that. Yes, these are all things that we can do, but only with the help of viewers like you, because as we said, we can only pay for so many subscriptions to these different publishing platforms. So hopefully we will be everywhere that podcasts are available in the future. But you can listen to our shows 1 week after. So if you're someone who can only watch half the show, or you missed a show for something like that, viewers like Analog Amber.
Viewers
exactly.
like Analog Amber.
But yeah, you can go ahead and check those out a week later. And because we wanted to do you all a solid, normally our Patreon subscribers would be the only people who would have immediate access to the VODs and to the podcasts as soon as they're available. But because we wanted everybody to have more content during this trying apocalypse that we're all experiencing right now, we made all of our Patreon content free. You can go on there and get not only the podcast that we're talking about, but you can also find character song lists and illustrations and videos with the cast and crew, all the kinds of stuff you like to enjoy to, I guess, just learn even more about a world you love, which I love for all of the things that I do. But you also get to see our after show where we talk for about 45 minutes to an hour about like
what just happened
to us.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's all of it, isn't it? I think we nailed it.
I think so.
All right, fantastic. Why don't we dive in? Welcome, CH Dill. All right. Let's get into this. Last time on Starfound, you all had made your way to the Vlaka homeworld of Logic, right? And you had discovered, gotten a little bit less of a warm welcome than you had hoped. You had encountered your old, I guess, advisor is sort of the right word for him, right?
Sure.
Goruk, who had been ruling in you, Amaruk, and your sister's absence. Now, the Vlaka are I don't know how to say this better, they're a dog people. They're wolf-like humanoids, right, who live on a
space anthro-wolf
world.
magical people.
And they have a very intense clan structure that has evolved throughout the years. And so, in order, you have been on a mission from the council, right, to find a potential replacement world for Vlaka, because Vlaka is dying. And now you have gone to the meeting place, this central hub where the first treaties between the tribes were made sometime centuries ago in the Gap. And you have stepped upon the speaking stones, and you are surrounded by the ruins of your ancestors and ready to make your case to the council. And around you stand the heads of all of the other clans of the Vlaka, right? Do you want to, Anne, do you want to go ahead and introduce the various different clans?
Sure. I feel like you added a lot of stuff, though.
I did, absolutely. I'm just giving you the opportunity because it's your world.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So pretty much, let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clans
Other than Yucca.
outside of other than Yucca.
Yeah.
So there's Clan Akna, Clan Nanurjuk,
Mhm.
Clan Anput, and Clan Hitti, and Clan Asyag.
Yeah.
And I guess Miles, I don't know.
Yeah, no, if you
Yucca,
are
no, it's
unable
fine.
to.
Can I talk about Yucca and then you can talk about everybody else?
Sounds like a
because
plan.
I feel like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
so let's like
so-
we're reminding a little bit, and we're in like the
Yeah.
moment before you step forward. And you're like, okay, guys, so here's the plan.
Yeah, here's what they think of us. So the Yucca are hunters first. They brought down the first gerbalope, this bipedal rodent slash rabbit slash elk creatures. And they have big, sharp, pointed horns, and they're super hard to kill. But we did it. We did it because we are the best hunters. And we chased burrowing gloths underground and hid from other super predators and survived on the icy tundra of Logic. We are the sole survivors, and we live oftentimes around these cave systems that go deep, deep underground, and they are home to a very important set of crystals that Solarians use to power their abilities. And they are unique Solarian crystals that are only found here on Logic and are most often used by Solarians.
So we have a $30 donation from Know It All Sci Guy to kick off the night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Know It All.
Know It All says, "Give him hell, Caster, oh Captain, my Captain." Thank you, Know It All. We really appreciate it. So that's the
Thank you, Know-It-All.
the Yucca, right? And the Yucca for many years have been sort of the leaders of the clans, right? It was a Yucca First Claw that originally unified the different clans. The like first Claw, or the Prime Claw as he's known. However, all the other clans, was that a good look or a bad look, Anne?
That was good. It's just, I love, the thing that is great about like all RPGs is you just give your DM like a little, just a taste as a treat, and they just take it. And I just love everything that we have mashed together with like weird like Norse meets Scottish meets just like
Dogs.
other weird
Dogs.
things. Yeah,
All
meets
right.
dogs. Yeah.
So,
live.
standing directly across from you are the Akna, right? Which they are the most severely handicapped in terms of blindness and deafness. Most of them wear cloth blindfolds across their eyes, and some of them wear earmuffs that actually like transmit sound, but are in solidarity for their other members of their clan who cannot see or cannot hear. And at the head of them stands the senior shield bearer Stengrim Barrison, who is this old Vlaka who has been here forever, has never been able to see. And his eyes are actually, how he sees is with drones which transmit information back to his brain. And he's famous. The Akna have a reputation for being the history keepers, right? They live in their ancestral homes way in the frozen wastes, way up in the mountains to the north, in the Shield Peaks. And they carve the histories of the Vlaka into the frozen caves, and many of them carve entirely by hearing and touch. Standing to their left are the Nanarjuk, who are the foresters of Lajok, right? They've always had an incredible tie with among them, and they're led by Softpaw Hegsdaughter is there, but her daughter, Bera, is the one who is actually probably going to be speaking, because Softpaw is on the way to the black. Now, the Unput stand directly to your left, and they are led by Strongclaw Aki Karval. They're the deep diggers. They're the strong paws. They're the doers of what has always been considered not Vlaka, because the Vlaka began as a hunter-gatherer culture, right? Who lived on the open plains and hunted various different creatures and survived terrible things. They have for many years been the mushroom eaters, the paste suckers, right? But now they're the most economically influential clan, right? Because they sell their ore and their industrial products at a premium to all the other clans. To your right stand the Hidi. They have always occupied the frozen edge of the ice shelf next to the equator. They're a hunting territory because they're actually mostly aquatic. They've always been the seafarers, and the explorers has been shrinking as the glaciers continue to push further and further south and north from the poles as this world slowly freezes over. However, in the last couple of hundred years since the gap, they've started digging underneath to find the thermal vents deep down, and they have these subnautical cities that exist underneath the glaciers fighting back against the Lena's face is giving me life. Thank you. And then standing further away on your right are the Oslog, the last of these. They've always been very nomadic. They haven't grown out of their heavily tribe-burdened traditions, right? And in recent years, they've finally had to settle down because they're unable to travel because of the encroaching ice. Their winged land ships and crystal gliders have finally frozen in place. And many of them have left the planet. Others have fallen into lives of crime, and they have a negative reputation, though many of them have turned to the military and are now in orbit on the various different Vlakan battle cruisers. But they are the smallest and least powerful of all of the different clans. So there's all the exposition all at once that Amuruk gives you in a quick rush, and you pick up probably about as much as you do in this little blurb.
The last thing that she says to you all is, friends, these that you've been given, and she points to the like honorary tokens that she gave both Castor and Kia back on Absalom Station. And she hands one also to Jabby. And she says, these make you honorary members of Clan Logic. You may speak for us as the First Claw would.
Oh
so
my
please,
God.
You are the people. These people will not want to move. You are the ones who will be able to convince them. I know it. You have seen the incredible wonders of the galaxy, the things that Desna called me to see, but they will hear it from you and maybe believe it more. They already think I'm kind of crazy, you know.
It's part of your charm.
Thank you.
It really is. Believe me, it is.
Please do your best.
Count on us, Amaruk.
And honestly, a little crazy goes a long way.
That's true.
All the way to Absalom Station, you mean?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, you step forward.
Yes.
And the four of you stand on the stepping stones, right? The places where the ancient Vlakan spoke. These grooves in the ground that have been worn by generations after generations of chieftains. And as you do, all the other clans step forward, and the lines carved into these ancient ruins atop this innumerably old hilltop begin to light up and spread around, and the wind slows. And Stengrim, from across the circle from you, says, First Claw, it seems as if you brought some friends this time.
Jeleskia waves all four arms.
Yes, these are my crew. And they are now members of the Vlaka clan as well. And I gesture to their their symbols that then start projecting the symbol of the Vaka clan, of the of Clan Yuka, to the rest of the Vlaka.
Absolutely. And his two drones, which are hover in this like kind of bubbles of purple light, kind of zoom over towards you and hover around you, examining all of you.
Jaleskia tries to poke one.
Oh,
Hello, little fella.
I'm definitely taking all kinds of notes that I can so I can recreate that.
Amazing. Well then, make your case.
Well, I think for a long time we've been alone out here, you know? We've relied on each other, both within our clans and between the clans. We've fought others, we fought each other. But there is only one truth that really matters. And it's that this world, it will not be here for future generations of Vlaka. And we can close our eyes to that all we want. But at the end of the day, Desna is there to call us away, to explore, to experience, and yes, to set down roots somewhere else. And our people have always been gifted at interfacing with other cultures and other people and helping them find their way in the world. But it's these people here beside me that found you a new home, all of us. They found us all a place to be, a place that is open and beautiful and terrifying, something that we will wrestle to the ground just like we did Logic, but is safe, is ready for new memories and new Vlaka to live on. We have a city and a stronghold. We have the support of the council from Absalom Station and the Pact Worlds at our back. And we have debts that need repaying. Debts that we cannot repay here from Logic. Debts that must be repaid, debts that must be repaid on Bright Claw, our new home.
Debts, you say? I think that maybe these debts are yours and not all of ours. And I think maybe safe for Amaruk Yuka is not safe for all of the Vlaka.
So, what do you plan to do then? Just wait until you all freeze to death?
You speak of Desna, Amaruk, First Claw. And Desna is powerful, and Desna is light. There she is. And he points up towards the sun, which wanes above the cloudy sky. It's just very, very soft, right? It's like it is a dying star in the last couple of million years of its life, right? But you forget that she is only one side of the orbit. The black butterfly is owed its due as well, and this may not be a popular thing to say, but we have lived in the caves for many years. And we know that darkness needs its due, but maybe, I know that I am an old man, and I am stuck in my ways, but I think that I am not alone in thinking that perhaps your plan, like most of your plans, is a little rash. First Claw.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is Anne. Hello, I'm Anne.
Who's Anne?
Amazing. Desna is the black butterfly.
Black butterfly is the other half.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I want to know. I don't know.
I've been wrong before about like huge Starfinder.
Well, her symbol is a black butterfly, but I don't know what the black butterfly is if it weren't Desna.
So,
which doesn't mean that he can't also be right that there is a sense of exploration that happens
absolutely.
Here at home.
The black butterfly is known as Desna's shadow. It's the goddess of the void. It's the other side. right?
Oh.
Desna
Ooh.
Yeah.
is star and light
Right,
and
right, right,
solar
right, right,
energy,
okay.
and the black butterfly is the other side.
Got
right?
it.
It's
Cool.
where stars go when they die. It's entropy. It's the
Right.
eventual heat death of the universe and the bouncing of a million molecules against each other that we'll never see and never feel.
Cool. So just that then. Great.
Just that.
That's
No
all.
need to
you
be
know.
existential. It's fine.
Just a
No, man.
simple little concept,
just a little,
you know?
Just a little concept here.
All right.
Great. Cool.
Thank you for asking. Yeah.
She says, is there not more darkness to pursue on other planets? I mean, it's kind of a small view. I think Desna, yes, she is light, but she is not just that light. That light is a reflection of the black butterfly. That light is dying.
Aki, Carval of Anput, the diggers, the not Vlaken workers, speaks up and says, "Yes, but this is our home. This is where we have all come from. This is where we belong, and to leave that without, on the whim of one of the clan leaders is a little ill-advised. Look, I don't think that anyone here is saying that your work was not appreciated, but you were the only one who came back. We think maybe you got a little lucky or were a little blind."
I'm the only one who came back. That doesn't mean. That means that I don't know. I feel. I mean, how dare you? How dare you say that those people who went out into the stars and tried for you, the fact that they didn't come back makes them somehow less? They may have died trying to help us.
I did not.
The only reason I'm not dead is because of the people you see here.
Amaruk,
the people who are willing.
I did not say that they were less. I said that they failed and that it is difficult out there. You say that this place is safe. You say that this place is ready for the taking. I think maybe you have not looked hard enough.
And this place is safer? Do you know what happens when androids die?
His like head cocks to the side.
When androids die, our soul leaves our body, and our body stays on Earth. But, you okay?
Something just happened audially. I don't know what just happened.
Just tell me when to start again.
Yeah.
It's
Hello.
Oh, live theater.
Hello.
Okay, I don't know.
Zoom has decided that there are 2 miles and exactly 0 Parkers.
Oh
in this
no.
stream. Wait,
No,
wait,
they just
it's me.
switched places.
There's no me.
That's
Okay.
what
I'm
happened.
not here.
Give me a second.
That's so
Hold on,
funny.
everybody. We're gonna do a.
Oh no, I'm on Amaruk now.
Amaruk, no.
Who am I? I'm frozen.
You're Jabby.
That was very interesting. Thank
Yeah,
you all
this
so
is
much
a
for your
body
patience.
snatcher episode.
It's a
now.
body snatcher episode. We'll be right back. I'm gonna fix this. It'll take a couple seconds.
We'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Maybe we'll be right back. Okay, we did it. I do believe.
We're back.
We're back. All right, claps for Murder Sauce. All right. We were in
Oh,
the
part
middle
of
of an
this.
intense discussion. So
Yes.
let's
Uh,
let's get back into it. You were
all right.
just saying, Parker, what happens when androids die? Why don't you take
Yeah.
that again?
Do you know what happens when androids die? I don't think so. Well, I'm not really sure either. I think that anyone who says what happens after you die is either a liar or a fool. But what happens is our soul leaves our body and goes to the big triune bubble in the sky. And our body is just left on the ground or whatever we left it last, in the hope that a new soul is going to inhabit it someday. We have to leave something behind for the next person. That's my duty. That's the duty of every single android, I think. Every responsible one, in that case. I'm just wondering what you're going to leave behind. Sure, you can stay here, and I understand. Home is where you live. Home is where you're happy, where your family has lived. But homes can change. Things happen. I just want to make sure that the people who come after you have the same happiness.
Homes can change. Yes. Homes absolutely can change, but we fly out into space on the word of one person. We fly to
Or
a foreign land. We expose ourselves away from everything that we have ever known. And
what about
one
your
of our own.
children? What about your children and what they will know?
What about your children? What about the loss of history? What about the loss of everything before? And excuse me, Barrison is interrupted by Bera, who stands next to him, right, from the Nanarjuk, who says, all right, old man, all right, we get it. History is important. I think, Amaruk, that what everyone is a little bit worried about is that we are moving a lot of people all at once to a new planet. And it's not the fact that it is new that is the most scary. It is the fact that it is. Well, no, it is the fact that it is new. You are asking us to colonize with our entire population. Look, middle ground. It is your quest. It is your passion. It is your idea. Take the yucca. Take the yucca for a year. Take the yucca for maybe 2 years. We see how you do, how you survive. Then it is only you and yours who is at risk, which is fair. For those of us.
Jaleskia leans. Oh, sorry.
Go.
Jaleskia leans over to Amaruk and goes, but that may be a really good idea at this point. These are a bunch of old farts. We're not going to convince them otherwise.
That is a very good point, I think.
Technopathy message. Kia!
um, at
ahead.
this, Jabby steps forward a bit. Hi, you're all very tall. But I was wondering that if worrying about your history was an issue, maybe I could find a way to preserve some of it. I'm something of a storyteller, and well, something I've found is that home is really people and your stories, and everyone has a different tale to tell, and it would be awful if your story were to end here. So, um, the Vlad could go away for a year, or at least the Clan Yuka does. But, say you come along and you're worried about losing your history, well, we could preserve it. So, just something to think about.
Show them. Show them what you made, Jebby.
Yeah, I've been working on this thing, which kind of like an interactive storybook, which I guess would just be easier to show you, and a projection. of an incomplete kind of starry sky of the planet. You can see how some of the stars are just slightly out of place, but it's been updated where you're seeing a projection of all the different things that we've seen the path we took to get here. And even now, certain things as he's tinkering with it are filling in, like adjusting the topography of the region and trying to get an idea of what the different frozen glaciers and cities underneath would look like from above, just kind of different ideas of what the planet looks like and cycling through different things. Um,
Why
and I was just, yeah,
why don't you go ahead and make me a computers check with advantage?
okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Advantage.
Okay.
Advantage.
Sometimes
That
we mix a
is,
little D&D in our Starfinder. We're just like, shh, go for it.
Yo,
yeah.
advantage
Yeah,
is a
that's fun.
killer mechanic, and I
Yeah.
mean,
That's a
I love
29.
29.
Yo,
Yes.
not a
Yes,
30.
not a 30. So
Not
Yeah.
a 30,
So,
but
none
it's
of
a
it
get
29.
works.
fucked.
Everything's in a different place that it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just catches on fire. Everyone's crying.
You fart really loudly. It's
Yeah.
awkward.
Zoom
It just falls
decides to
apart.
just fall apart on you at the last second.
Yeah.
So not bitter at all. Um, the everyone like several of the cleanse members to your left and right gasp, right? There's this kind of like murmur that goes around. On the in the opposite direction, uh, Barrison with his like drones whirring around it kind of starts growling very low. A sound that you can hear and like almost feel across the stones. Um and uh finding names.
So many.
Yeah, I
so
know,
many
right?
wolfy boys.
Carval to your left, the deep diggers of the Anput, says, "This is very impressive, but your impression of our history and our life does not. It is not ours. But we are touched. I think I can speak for, like, look sideways at Barrison, most of us, that your thought means something to us. I would like to motion that the Yucca spend 2 years on the new planet as a test drive for recolonization."
She
yeah.
looks up and looks to the other clans who haven't spoken, because so far
Mhm.
only the deep diggers have, right? Like only the
Deep
subterranean.
diggers and the Aslug, right? Or no, not the
Yeah.
Aslug, the
Akna?
Akna, and also the Nanarjuk, the foresters.
Yeah.
Oh.
So who hasn't spoken yet?
The two clans who have remained quiet this entire time are the Hitti,
Yeah.
who are the divers who have the subaquatic
Yeah.
cities, and the Aslug, who are the have a lot in the military, and
Right.
are the once upon a time nomads.
Yeah. Okay. She says, you who have not spoken, I wonder what you think, because there is economic prosperity to be had. The people who came to the planet before us, who will now share this world with however many of us choose to go there, they come from all walks of life, and they have cut out a life for themselves and found not only survival and resources, but work to be had there. Do you really think that this place is all that we have for us? I mean, if we are to go somewhere else and explore and work, yes, lots of work, but to capture capture this new opportunity could be everything for the Vlaka. And to be honest, and she turns to the Aslag, who are the warriors, right?
Yeah. Warriors
Yeah,
and nomads.
Yeah, yeah. She says, "Your gliders, it has been forever since you were able to fly. I'm talking about restoring so many of the things that have been lost to you because of the change in this world.
Osk.
Why not?"
Hada, who is
Yeah.
covered in fetishes and carvings of bone, right?
Mhm.
And like thick rag-like clothes that wrap around an ancient, intricate kind of pattern that is designed to keep as much heat inside as possible. Kind of smirks and looks out of the side of her eye at you.
She's the
Osk.
best. Wait, is she my mom? She's not,
No.
but I want her to be.
No.
Mom?
Osk is very Aslag, which is why she
Yeah.
represents them here. She, to put it colloquially, Osk doesn't give a fuck.
Good.
And Osk says, you know, the Aslag go where there is opportunity. You make some opportunity, first claw, and maybe for the first time we'll be friends.
Jaleskia,
like that.
elbows Amaruk. She, elbows her with two
Yeah.
elbows, being like, oh my god, the pirates, the pirates, the pirates, the pirates, the pirates.
Yeah.
Very sneakily.
Yeah. I say, and opportunity there is. Lots of undiscovered areas and people with which to treat, but also to help them understand who will be controlling logic from here on out. We've done our best to keep our peace with them, but we need people to support our claim, people who will make others understand with shows of strength if necessary, who has the power to control the what's the J word for this beast? The not the Jabberwock, the Jackalope, the Jabberlope.
I made up a creature, and
Yeah,
everyone's
great.
having trouble.
Okay, I'm scared. Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
says, I know that you can appreciate as well, as much as we haven't gotten along, the fact that Yuka never turns down an opportunity for a great hunt. And you could join us for sure. There would be a lot for you to take advantage of and make a new name for yourself. Perhaps when the rest of the clans get there, they find there's not so much equality left on Bright Claw for them.
She kind of
Can
smirks.
I,
Gerbalope.
Gerbalope, yes. Can
Important.
I cast Ghost Sound from the middle of the group of people, or the group of the warrior clan, that just sounds like a chuff? You know that sound that tigers and bears make when they're having just like a good day, and it's just kind of a I want that sound to echo from inside there. And it's a cantrip, so don't know what I need to do for that.
I feel like you have to roll a deception check.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Or the equivalent of that skill.
I'm here for that.
I mean, it could be stealth, right? Bluff away.
Blue.
Bluff away.
17.
17. Nice. I'm gonna roll a dice. Cool. There's like a moment of like, she kind of like glances behind her for a second and says, "Pups bark. Queens bite. We'll see."
I'm out of character. Shook. She's a queen. I stand. Oh man.
I think it's incorrect. She's not a queen. I don't stand. Queens don't bite.
I love it. I mean,
Queens
if you ask
watch
nicely.
others bite.
I think that
Ooh.
in the transformation of language, right?
Yeah.
Queen is not what she's saying. We don't have a word for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Something is lost in between the cultural understanding of what a queen is.
Mm-hmm.
Because Amaruk is a queen. Amaruk bites, right?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, the hands-on approach, the leading from the front, is very important in Vlaka culture, right? That's
Mhm.
why a lot of their kings die at a young age for the more active
Yeah.
clans. But the Hitti standing behind them, the deep divers, you know that their leader is, to put it mildly, a geek, right? They're the chief diver. They're the one who built the most, mostly, right?
Yeah.
The one who solved the most problems the most cleverly, right? You don't think that Freydis Ulversson sleeps,
Ever.
ever. And you can see it in the like large bags underneath her
Yeah.
like perfectly blue eyes. Actually, no, they're not chromatically the same. One of them is blue and one of them is like a dark black.
Yeah.
Heterochromia.
Heterochromia. I have
This is
to write
everything.
that
Let's
down.
just talk about the way wolves look as people for the rest of
Right.
the stream.
It's a
Wait,
mood.
what is that person's name?
That is Freydis Ulversson.
Yeah. What does she say? What does she say?
She says, well, Amaruk, I'm sorry, but things are very good under the sea. Under the glaciers, to be specific, but things are it's going very well down there, and we've lost a lot. But now things are going very well, and to leave when things are you okay?
Is oh, hand with her
So many hands.
So can Jaleskia
I love that.
step out of the little groove that she was in, like in a kind of an excitement? She trips a little bit and goes, "Oh, but you have to see the seas. You have to see the seas of Bright Claw. Oh my goodness, Freydis, your heart would just grow 14 million sizes." And she does like a spin like Maria von Trapp.
Amazing.
Yes.
Your heart will just bloom with algae, with beautiful bioluminescence. Oh, you must see it. I'm Jaleskia, by the way.
Uh, uh, cool.
Don't worry. We'll talk after. I'll find you.
Maybe we'll come visit.
I think that would be wonderful.
But I have a lot of work to do.
Me too. And she like winks and walks back.
I love that.
The fact is, we need support. We need support from Vlaka. This was a Vlaka mission. You keep calling it my mission, but you sent, what was it? 12 of us? 7 of us? 7 of us. 12? 7. 7. You sent 7 of us. I don't remember my backstory. It's fine. 7
It
sounds
was
like
7.
a good number. Yeah. Good. Great. You sent 7 of us. And yes, I'm the one who's a little crazy enough to get it right, you know? But at the end of the day, we have opportunity. And I understand you don't want to just pick up everyone. I get that. I can understand where you are coming from. That so many of you have built lives for yourself here and a structure to rely on. But this is not a Yucca quest. This is a quest that was undertaken by 7 members of 7 clans that are all interesting and separate people, but all of them Vlaka. And I am understanding but disappointed to hear that you do not want to send military support, at least to defend this plot of land that we've plucked out of obscurity, but is beset by potential risks to this newfound nation of ours.
Silence.
Cool.
Can I cast ghost sound in the divers area of somebody going, huh?
Best use of ghost sound, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Any
listen,
game.
I gotta do something. So that is a 16.
Nice.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Somebody going, huh?
Doing your thing. Huh. That's funny.
Oh man.
You know, she has a point, Phil.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
I love that so much. So okay, how do I respond to this?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yeah. Good
It
luck.
hurts so much
Yeah.
worse.
Oof.
So Carval, the of the Anput, the deep diggers, kind of steps forward and says, "Yes, it is all of our mission. We understand, but Amaruk Yuka, we all stand to lose a lot. Some much more than others. Look, the Vlaka have their own ships in orbit. You take your ships. They are relieved from duty guarding this planet. Hmm?
I want to roll one diplomacy check, and here's what I want it to be about. Are you ready for this comeback? The comeback queen? Okay.
Shoot your shot, puppy.
Okay. So Amaruk says, thank you. And I know we are all one, but I know we are all a proud people that want to keep our own achievements and stories alive. So should it not be one from each of our clans who comes to Logic with us? Choose one and let them convince you that it is a place where you should come.
Yes, good.
Shoot your shot.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Oh, anxiety. Okay, sorry to anyone who heard that, which is all of
Which
you.
is everyone.
Yeah.
The entire
Internet.
whole internet. Okay. Ooh, that was a good roll. All right.
Yeah,
All together, that is 26.
Ooh.
That's very good.
That's not bad.
it's
That's
pretty
not
good.
bad.
But it's not 30.
It's not 30.
Instant fail, not 30. Go home.
All right. A vote. I vote nay. I'm gonna go down the fucking. Let's do it. I'm gonna go down.
Down the
We're gonna
line, let's
find
do
out
it.
who your friends are
Yeah.
right
Let's
now.
do it.
I want Freyas to come.
I know.
Yes.
So the
I must learn your
unput
secrets.
vote no.
Oh,
The Nanarjuk vote yes.
Give me a druid boy.
The Akna vote no.
Oh.
So they'll hold on. This is 2 and 1. Yes and
Yeah.
no. To go to the other side of everything. The Aslag vote no. So we're
Ooh.
3 no's. The
He
Hitti
prefers yes.
vote yes.
Yeah.
And the Anput vote. Oh, they already voted. So it's
Yeah.
2
2, 3.
yes to 3. And you
Okay.
obviously are voting yes.
Yeah.
oh.
Ho ho ho.
Cage match.
A
Oh.
tie.
Yeah, that's what we do. We determined last week on our break episode that
Oh,
if
man.
we come to an impasse, cage match.
It's true.
It's true.
Wait, can we trial by combat this?
It's
Oop.
true.
But is this really what's gonna happen?
That's what's about to happen, yeah.
Oh my god, yes! This is everything!
Yes.
All right.
Wait, can we all fight together though? Can it be like us versus them to show them the glory of the galaxy? I don't know.
Or we
I'm
can just
scared.
show off some skills. I'll do like a backflip. No, I won't. I won't do a
Can we
backflip.
just have a skill challenge? Says Gillespie.
Can we just have a skill chat? Can it be a volleyball match?
Oh, snow volleyball.
It's volleyball.
Yeah.
The voting completes with you as you raise your hand,
Yeah.
and this bell rings out. boom, and you know that this is the time, right? The yays are gonna fight the nays. No one can die inside of the circle, but as you like your blade shings out of your claw, out of your fist, glowing in the light, and the like wind begins to pick up again. You hear from your right and like a little bit behind you a stop, and you look behind you and your mother's standing there. Why don't you describe your mother for me?
Oh my god, she's the best. Okay, 1 second, I need my notes. Okay, so my mother, her name is Frigg. She is a mystic, and she, for many years, has lived down in the caves, the sacred Solarian caves, beneath the Clan Yucca's grounds. She is, I believe, deaf, and she believes that in this deafness, she can hear both the black butterfly and also the call of Desna more clearly. The music of the spheres, for those who are deaf, is heard more clearly, which is Amaruk was also born deaf, as you know. And she is tall and covered in like netting, and in this netting are several of these crystals, these Solarian crystals, which she carefully harvests in her time in the cave systems. But she is known as a healer and peacekeeper to not just the clan Yucca, but has been a healer and peacekeeper between all the clans in times of conflict, and has married Paki, who was once a member of Clan Akna. So she is one of the only people out there to have married outside of her own clan.
So much exposition.
Sorry, many things.
We can't
to tell
not.
You.
There's like we're like delving into your backstory hard.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you notice about her is that she has her hearing aid in, which she usually doesn't, right? She usually speaks in very old, entirely animalistic sign language, right? Which used to be very hard for you because you had like trouble learning it. But as
and
time
like
went
a
on,
lot of energy.
Yeah.
Just imagine a very quiet mother and then this shit going on.
Exactly.
Go play with your rocks was a lot of what happened.
So she like kind of limps up forward, right? She has like a long staff at the head of which is this eternally melting ice crystal that kind of like splashes down in large
nosebleed. That's everything. I'm so sorry. Continue.
And she says, "You all so short-sighted, so simple, a little too brave." She stares at you right in the eyes.
And I look down.
Fighting over this is useless. This is pointless. You aren't going to achieve a better objective. You aren't going to find truth in combat here. Amaruk has done a brave and maybe stupid thing. We won't know. But Desna knows. She looks around in the silence, and the wind dies to a complete silence. If Amaruk can become blessed of Desna, you will each of you send a ship with her on her mad mission into the black. If Amaruk can find the prime crystal in the caves where Yanni went, or so the story goes. Then you will join her, at least with your ships. Her like lip kind of curls up at the word of ships.
Kia raises all her hands on her right side, if you must know, and goes,
Excuse me, who went to these caves? What's the prime crystal? I'm so down, but could you tell the outsiders the story? I'm sorry. This is all very new to me. You guys are so nice.
So Yenny is the name, and I'm going to do this in character. Let me do this in character. I'm going back.
Yeah, please.
yes, please. That's what I was asking for.
Yenny. Yenny was the Prime Claw, the first of the Yuka to unify all 6 clans, to force them, bring them to a level where they had to swallow their pride with their ice and stand in this circle. Yenny was possessed of an ancient Solarian crystal, it is said, called the Prime Claw. It gave him great power in battle, and it was seen as much of the reason why he was able to unify the clans. He, in his last years, wishing not to die in a bed, took the Prime Claw and descended into the caves underneath the shelf. And he never came back. No one really knows what he was looking for, but that's where he went. Or so the story goes. So, Amaruk, can you find the Prime Crystal? Are you Desna's chosen?
I will be.
She, like, walks past you and kind of brushes by you as she goes, right? It's like,
yeah. I make like a happy like I guess it's not a purr. That's what cats do. Yeah, I chuff as she does. And I simply like you know, like when somebody is next to you and you grab their hand like as they're passing by,
Yeah.
just as a like thank you. And I just take her hand, just briefly, and give it a squeeze with my paw.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The various different clans members all are kind of stepping back. Their weapons have gone down in the middle of that speech, right? And they begin to put them away, right? Everything begins to settle. And Barrison from the Akna says, "All right, this is how it will be. If you find the Prime Claw, you will unify the clans once again. But I'm not bringing my people out to a strange planet until you have proven that it is safe."
Seems legit.
Fantastic. Everyone steps back off of the glowing speaking spaces, right? And the wind rushes back in over top of you, like ripping in off of the sea and over you. And once again, life takes its course, slowly eating away at the land. As you like step back, Goruk steps forward and says, "Well, that went better than I thought it was going to go."
And what did you think was going to happen, Goruk?
Well, I thought maybe They would walk all over you.
Yeah, well, Amaruk's different now. She's a boss.
She's a boss now. Oh.
Even bigger boss than she was before. Anyway, she's amazing, and we love her.
Oh, good. Good for her. Good for her to have such caring allies.
Yeah.
Sensing a lot of history here.
Amazing.
Great.
So, first claw.
Hmm.
What now?
It looks like I'm going into the caves with my friends.
So am
And
I.
what will you do in that time?
What will I do? Oh, wait for you. Loyally.
I'm sure you will. In your own way.
I only do things in my own way. Do you want me to bring you there now?
Is there anything we need to do before we go? Anything we want to collect? Anything we need?
No.
Rope? If we're spelunking. Are we spelunking?
Are we spelunking?
Roll for
I
Yeah, I
Splunk.
mean
haven't
we
spelunking in
have
a long
stuff.
time.
Let's review.
Yes, please.
I have in my bag. I have several things. I have beacon, so I have portable light. I have several cartridges for my gun that I never use. I have dry rations for 2 months, which I think we all have rations still.
Mm-hmm.
I have we have a toolkit and a wide spectrum ocular implant. Did we ever do anything with that? That's not going to be useful now. But I think we probably need some rope. Is it How dare you?
And we have a wide spectrum ocular
we
implant.
pulled it out of someone's head at some point. We've done a lot of things.
Oh.
It's been a year.
Yeah, you guys have a piece of cyberware that you haven't put in, any of you.
What does that do?
I don't know.
I
We
can't
never found
remember.
out. We'll find out next time on Starfound. But yeah. So I think we should get some rope, for sure. And anything else you think that we might need, friends? Is there anything anyone wants to supply before we go? I know we came pretty well supplied.
Well, if we're gonna get rope and we're gonna do some spelunking, I think some pittons maybe, some
Climbing gear for sure.
Mhm.
Of course, yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
Okay, can you get us that?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
simplest thing-
definitely,
the
brother.
simplest
I can get you
thing-
those pigeons for sure. Yeah, absolutely. You have climbing gear in the sled.
Yeah, great. Then yes, take us.
Fantastic.
And what is? I'm sorry. I'm catching up on my notes. I'm too overwhelmed with excitement. Where is this place? What is this place that we're going to called?
So, underneath, all of the, let me find it in my notes so I don't mess it up. The cave system beneath the central tundra plains, where the Yucca are settled, right, is home to where the Solarian crystals that are unique to LeChalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logic, excuse me. And
How dare you?
and they're it's like part temple, and maybe at one time the Vlaka lived down there, maybe at one time something else lived down there. No one really knows. All of that is way pre-Gap. In the legends, right, which is all that you have left, and they're very garbled because many of them were melted when the Gap happened. The caves are described as a sacred temple, right?
Yeah.
They're described simultaneously as where you go to train as a Solarian, where you go to seek for answers, where you go to find help and to, yeah, all those things. They don't have a specific name. They're pretty specifically unnamed. It's very possible that at one time there were caves all over And maybe the caves here lead across to caves that span the entirety of the world. But no one knows anymore.
Wow.
Okay. Great. That sounds exciting. Take me there.
Great,
I'm ready.
great. All right. So
We have our climbing gear.
You got your climbing gear. It's on
Okay.
this. It's on the sled.
It's very important that we have that.
Right. So what kind of creatures did I have pulling your sled? Can any of you remember?
I
They
don't.
came out of the snow.
Oh,
Were they
right.
like bunnies? Giant bunnies? I can't remember.
Oh,
I didn't write it down, and I was like in my
feel like
head, and
they
I made it
weren't
up at the
bunnies.
time.
The last thing I have from
Oh,
the
wait, were
last
they
episode
worms?
is return to logic.
They'll be
I
worms.
think they were little caterpillar-y things,
Yeah,
right?
they're definitely
Yeah.
worms. Yeah.
Feel like they were wormies. Yeah.
I don't like that.
So they
Hold
like.
on.
Speaking
Wiggly.
of worms, Miles does like bug parts, and for a level 3 subscription, y'all can get this incredible bug parts emoji by Pup Games. It is the best.
I'm so glad you
It's
love
so
it.
It's so good, and there's more. There are more emojis coming, my friends. Just you wait.
Fantastic. So the bugs shuffle off the snow off their backs as they've like wriggled up out through the ground and take off again, and you zip off into the wind and the oncoming snowstorm, which swallows you as you head back in the direction that you came. Somewhere along the path you take a turn, and then another turn, and soon you find yourselves careening through a tight valley of ice. And in the reduced vision of the snowstorm, you can see shadows of overhangs and spikes of ice interfere with the little bit of light from the dying sun up above, until finally you to a stop in front of what looks like a artificial stone entrance in front of you, right? But it's like a ways away, hidden by the wind and the snow blowing back and forth in between you and it. And Godok shouts back, "This is it! Get off and I'll make a structure for when you come out."
Oh my god, thanks.
I just had like a flash
Cool.
forward to Jafar telling Aladdin, "Give me the lamp!" Like, that's what I
God.
flashed forward
Right.
to. So I don't like it. But Amarik's like, okay! Like,
I
Give
was
me the
wondering
lamp.
what happened with your face. Your eyes like widened for a second
yeah.
in pure terror.
Not before the lamp. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what happened in my eyeballs.
So-
yeah, so we hop out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys doing? What's the plan? What's the action?
So we see this giant mouth to the cave, right? Well, I'm going to first get close to the mouth of the cave, and I'm going to take out my ear implants for a moment,
I love that.
and then just listen in the mouth of the cave and see if I hear Desna's call.
There's a... I'm sorry. This is hard.
Okay,
to
Miles,
describe.
describe God. Go.
Right.
It's always been there. But it does feel like it's stronger now. And it's not quite sound. It's everything. And it, more than you hearing it, you feel it in the space between your ears and under your lungs. And it's constant. It doesn't pulse. It doesn't even have reverberation. It doesn't vibrate.
Yeah.
It just is. It's energy without expression.
And you said the reason that Yenny was lost was he why did he go into the caves with the crystal?
No one really knows, but people think that it's because he didn't want to die in a bed.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Sounds
that's
legit.
so dog.
Sounds like every dog I've ever
Oh
had
no,
wander
I'm
away
having
from
a
the
lot of
farm.
emotions. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh
So-
no.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's
Welcome
fine.
to Starfound. We're talking about death today. I'm your
Oh my
host,
god.
Starfound.
Deatherson.
Remember when your dog died? That sucked, right?
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oof.
I'm
that
sorry,
really got
everyone.
me there. No, that's
Effing
good.
chat.
It was a lot. Okay. So, she smiles and kind of like lays her hand on the ice and then draws her paw down and then turns to them and says, "Let's go find God."
Oh.
Right, no big deal.
But she doesn't hear you because her hearing aids aren't in, so she
Yeah,
just
what?
turns and goes.
yeah. No, but
Oh, wow,
literally,
oh, okay.
she does she's keyed in, and so she goes, "Let's go find God," and she nods, and then she turns and goes into the cave.
Did you ever think about how God backwards is dog?
Not until now.
I'm coping well. Let's go.
Amazing.
So you head into this structure, and the wind tries to chase after you, right? It's grasping claws, reaching back, trying to catch you, whipping at the backs of your pant legs and robes, and trying to like push you and pull you back outside. But it can't follow you all the way in. And soon enough, stillness finds you. What's everyone's dark vision situation?
No.
In black and white for me.
I have low light vision.
Nah.
I have. Sorry, I'm still furiously writing
Notes.
notes on Miles's beautiful things that he's made. Okay.
I do have a flashlight in my inventory and 5 lanterns.
I have low light vision and I have blind sight within 30 feet.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I know where you are. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm like Toph Bei Fong. I can feel it.
Yes.
Um.
Question.
Mhm.
Are would I know if Solarian crystals are magical?
Why don't you make an arcane check? What is that? What is that skill? Help me. Dex.
Mysticism.
Mysticism. Yeah.
Mysticism.
Wait, no. There's a
Okay.
different. Isn't there a different check for magic science for technomancer magic?
It's just mysticism.
All right.
Yeah,
think
no,
it
it's
would just be
mysticism.
Let
Yeah.
it be so.
It's only a
is.
10, so
Low
only a
tit
10.
be.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're definitely energetically charged, right?
okay.
Like
Then I guess as
massively.
we go, just every minute, I'd like to keep detect magic just pulsing out.
Cool. Totally into that. So you
I have my flashlight.
Good. I
shining
think we all
back
have.
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there like I mean, I know these are caves and things live in caves and whatnot, but are there any tracks or anything leading into this cave that would give me an idea of like not like where this person went hundreds of years ago, but just what we might find in here?
You don't see any tracks in the snow.
Okay, cool. Fresh snow. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Terrifying.
And
It's beautiful.
soon the snow actually disappears, and all that's left under your feet is ice.
Oh no. Oh, no.
no.
Oh,
I suspect that
like-
Amaruk kicks her heels together and spikes come out of the bottom of her boots, cleats. But the rest
cool.
of you, I doubt, have brought stuff like that. You know what? Everyone, No,
We got climbing gear.
you got climbing gear, but that's different from like Vlachen life gear.
Mhm.
Sure.
It looks like Helena
Sure.
wants to roll for it.
What do I roll for this?
Roll.
Athletics?
Roll.
What do you
Just roll. Okay, that's a 6.
Yeah, you don't have that gear, so you're like slipping and sliding a little bit, but it's like
Mm.
it's not black ice, right?
Right.
It's a little bit
Right.
rough, so it's not. I would not recommend playing sports on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gillespie is all about softball, if you recall.
I do. So,
She's going to look at you all and take her. She's not going to put her stuff back in. She's decided that she's going to do this the way she was born to do this, and so she doesn't have her hearing aids in anymore. So she still has blind sight, and she can see you, and she can read lips a little bit, but pretty much she looks to she looks to Castor and says, I'm going to need you to tell me when people are saying complicated things, okay?
You've got it.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I would like to just say, are you facing us so you can
Yeah, I'm
read lips?
face. I
Okay.
turn. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then I'd just like to ask, do we know if there are any, I don't know, very large creatures that would want to eat smallish creatures in this area?
I mean, there are many foes on logic. That is why I'm a hunter.
Fair enough. Then I'd like to roll stealth.
I would like to be not here.
everyone else is like slipping and
as
sliding,
soon
and
as
Jabby's like on
possible.
his hands and knees, like all 8 hands.
Yeah, tails up in the back like a scorpion, like,
Yeah.
ooh.
All right,
Hold on, he coming.
roll your stealth, and I'm gonna keep
Uh,
going.
not the best. It's low.
It low, cool. So
Mhm.
you continue forward, and ice spreads out below you, and it looks like below it there's patches of stone, some of which is like broken, and around you this tunnel looks perfectly carved, right? Like it survived the elements almost exactly. And you can hear the wind behind you, but soon even that becomes faint as you continue forward until eventually your lights open up into a larger space. This vaulted room with like ice that doesn't look like it was carved, but looks like it was worn away with centuries of the like purest water. And as you look up and shine up, you can see your reflection in this mirror like ice looking down at you, stretched out and strange across the many yards of surface area. And ahead, there's, or around the room, there's several almost like doors, these like stone ensconces that are like set into the ice. They don't look like anything that has been that you've seen of Vlaka culture so far, right? They're much more fluid. They're much more simple, right? There's none of
Yeah.
the very kind of tribal insignia or need to like mark and make it one's own.
Yeah, these existed in time before time.
Yeah,
It seems like.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
Amaruk, yes, actually, Castor, what's up?
Yeah. So when you say room, is it like man-made, or is it like just the space is what you're saying for room?
Why don't you roll a physical science check?
That's what I thought you were gonna say. All right, here we go. 28.
Not a 30.
It absolutely could have been made, right? It's honestly hard to say. This should not have kept if it's as old as people say it is, right?
Okay.
Glaciers are moving all around this place constantly. You know that you're deep underground. Like it is something probably magical, right? Is keeping this way, or some incredible piece of technology, right? That is entirely unseen. Dex. Magic is everywhere right now, to the point where your detect magic doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And Amaruk, you hear it coming from the far side of the rooms from a specific door.
Oh, the sounds of the spheres, the music, it plays. She kind of like turns slowly and looks at the group and then points to her long, fluffy white wolf ears, and then motions to the corner, and to be her let's see, her moat, her glowing solar moat that floats around her head, kind of like wisps and becomes the fist weapon, and she like in an effort to make herself ready for whatever this experience is going to be, as a warrior, as a person, approaches that side of the room.
Great. So you head towards it, and as you get closer, you see that there's like a little bit of stone underneath it, right? That's like not underneath it. That's it extends out from the sconce, right?
Yeah.
In an arc, and it has like rays of sun embossed into it, is what they look like.
Yeah.
And you gently step down onto it with one foot, and then the other, and then there's the sound of stone grinding, and you find yourself whipped around to the other side, and you done got Scooby-Dooed.
You got Scooby-Doo!
Hello?
Where's my glasses? And we're gonna go on a brief break right now. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll be back with more to pull the mask off some villain very, very soon.
Oh boy. We'll be
It's
right back.
Garuk.
Guys, go ahead and give us a follow if you're new, because we want you to stick around.
Please give us a follow and hit ! Discord to join our Discord for announces of whenever and goes live. We'll be right back, everybody.
That's true.
Welcome back, everyone.
Jinkies!
Jinkies!
Zoinks!
Zoink, Scoob. I'm so proud of that.
Is that a callback?
Someone got a call
genre
back?
mixing up. Okay. So you have just been rotated around to the other side, and the rest of you saw Amaruk step onto this, and then suddenly the stone flipped like that in like the flicker of an eye. You blinked, and she was gone. Right? Actions, questions, concerns.
So we saw it happen. She's not just like
Yeah.
poof. Cool. So I'm gonna run up to the sliding ice door and be like, Miss Amaruk! Amaruk! Are you-
It brings you. It flips you around as well.
Whoa!
Am I back on the other side or
We'll
no?
talk to you in a second, Amaruk.
Okay, great. I didn't know if it was like a live your dreams, everybody.
Caster. Jaleskia tries really hard not to step on it and knocks on it and being like, "Can you hear me?"
Can I hear her?
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Jabby,
Yeah.
friend, you want to go around together?
Yeah, I don't want to be alone.
Awesome.
There. Yeah.
Can I like offer my lowest right hand?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
would love just like climb up and like wrap my arms around her and my tail's like also around her leg, just like wide-eyed, not happy.
So you're like about to go up to her, right? And you hear a
Mhm.
ping behind you, and you look backwards. And Kia, you hear a ping behind you as well, this like loud metallic ping. And both of you look in opposite directions, and when you look back at each other, the other one is gone.
Oh.
Amaruk,
Oh. Okay.
you find yourself on the other side of this wall, right?
Yeah.
Surprised, stunned. It's dark over here, but there's like a tunnel that leads down and further in ahead of you, and you turn back, and I imagine that you turn back. My image of like what I
Yeah.
would do in this moment is like turn back and be like, oh my god, what? How do I get back over? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you hear it. It.
Please to be
The
more.
same it that we've been talking about.
Oh, the
Yeah.
noises. Yes.
The
not
noises.
noises.
The
Got it.
noises that you don't hear.
I'm too scared. Anne is scared now,
Let's
so
just
she's
be
forgetting.
clear. You hear the sound of God.
Yeah. No, that sound. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Pretty clear. That's
Yeah.
really
It's good.
Can't relate. Oh no.
Lord,
And
she
it's
calling.
so strong.
Okay. Probably strong. Is it stronger than I've like ever heard it before? Oh yes. Okay. Is it directionless or does it have
It is down there.
down? Okay.
Yeah,
So
down there.
I continue down. Like I go to look over my shoulder and I see they're not there, and I just say, trust her, and then I start descending.
Yep. And you begin to make your way down, carefully maneuvering down this very, very steep slope, using your blade to cut into the ice to make handholds, and
Yeah.
slowly finding your way safely deeper into this ice tunnel. Caster, you find
Yes.
yourself on the far side of the wall in a small room. And it's all stone, all of it, right? There's like a door on your right that is it looks like it's dilapidated steel, right? And on your left there's this large wall that is the largest wall in the room, and it kind of like tapers out towards that small door. And in the wall there are like dozens of cracks and holes, right? Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Roll initiative. You're fighting the holes.
Oh no.
fighting the floor. It's a 5.
Great.
So that's whenever you make that
Great,
sound, it's
exactly.
either really good or really bad.
You're
Yeah.
I know it really is. So I feel like you're so stunned and amazed by what has just happened. The fact that Amaruk isn't here, that
Yeah.
you don't know what the fuck's going on.
So
Action.
tap into my comms unit. Hello? Can anyone read me? Can anyone read me? It's Caster, and I'm oh, that's obviously you can tell by my voice. I'm stuck, I think.
I can't hear my comms.
Oh, that's right.
This was a mistake.
The parameters of first of all, can anyone hear that message, GM Miles? No? Great.
Of course not.
We're talking to God, Beach. Like, no one can hear anything.
I'm gonna
Be on
check
a vision quest.
I'm checking the parameters of the technopathy node. I'm trying to see if it's like if there's a range, or if it can go through walls, or if it can go through that sort of thing, because it is magical.
Yeah.
Uh,
I believe it's 120 feet.
100 feet. So I won't be able to do a technopathy message. Great. I'll be like, can anyone hear me? Oh. Oh, well, that's standing. Oh.
From your comms, there's this sound of like electricity being ripped too quickly through wires.
Oh. Jeez. Get that looked at. All right. So I guess I'm gonna go to the wall. I'm gonna inspect the wall. I'm gonna the door.
Absolutely. So you start to inspect the wall, and as you like head towards the wall and start to look inside of it, you start hearing like a voice from the far side. And it's like soft at first, and it's like it sounds like a conversation between a couple of different voices, and then it starts to get louder, and this whispering starts to increase, and it's, help me please, save me.
Nope,
Bring me
nope,
back,
nope.
Take me home, bring me away. And as it gets louder and louder and louder, and you like begin to back up away from the wall, you start to recognize these voices. People that you have known that are not here anymore. People that you know that you think you lost, that you are aware it was their death was closely related to you, either because you weren't there at the right time, weren't able to fix it, or because you caused it. The pleading of those about to die. And it starts to like overwhelm you, and then the blackness, the very shadow, begins to pour out of the wall like this
Not what
ooze.
you want.
And it begins to pool on the ground, and it forms up 2 legs and a chassis and arms and a face cut in half, and you recognize yourself grinning, split in 2, and it begins to lunge at you.
Oh my god.
No.
The door is right behind you.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Well, can I see if the door is able to open? Is it?
Absolutely. You reach backwards and slam into the door, trying the knob, and it flies open behind you as you stumble out into it's a lighter area. Let's leave you there for now.
Cool. Great.
Amaruk.
Oh my god. I'm so stressed out for you. Okay. Let's be stressed for me. Okay.
Stress for everybody.
The tunnel leads down into an open, empty, not an open empty, into a large cavern, and all the like order previously has gone away. This looks very naturally hued, large,
Right.
like strange crystal and ice formations of these like spires of crystals spread down from the ceiling and kind of glowing softly and faintly with these like blue and white veins that ripple through them. Below you, however, is a chasm right in front of you, and there are
Right.
several platforms of ice that are like perched, slowly melting away ahead of you. That face.
Is this a jumping puzzle? Miles, how
Oh.
dare you come for me like this?
Wow.
Miles and I have been playing a lot of Destiny
And I've
too,
spent
guys.
all week listening to her scream at jumping puzzles.
We about to go there again, okay? Oh,
That's
So
rude.
meta.
So there's
I
just so that we're
hate you.
specific, right?
yeah.
You're standing over here, and then there's one platform and a second platform that are like on top of these like tapering kind of
Yeah.
formations that lead down into the darkness below. And as you
Yeah.
shine your flashlight down, you like cannot see the bottom,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it does get like a little thicker down below. And then on the far side, it looks like there's a larger kind of glacial rest, right?
Yeah.
And you think that you can see like a couple of entrances in the far side of this cavern that look like they've been
Sure.
cut by running water or some kind of creature. It's hard to say from here.
Okay.
What are you up to?
Well, here's what I can do
Mhm.
about that. I could, let's see, I could activate my gravity thing. My gravity boost, which
Mhm.
gives me 1 round of spider climb.
Oh,
Yo.
So I could start attuning to void and just run across the wall.
That's
Would
a
I
thought.
get there?
You might.
Okay. So is there a place within 6 seconds worth, let's say, of running that I could like run to and hold on and then activate it again and run to and
Oh. I think that if you leap appropriately, you can make it to the other side off of the wall. That makes sense?
cool.
Like run,
Yeah.
bounce.
So I'll run along the wall. Yeah.
You have to do
So
some platforming-ish.
yeah, so basically she sticks her I'm guessing it's on her left side, so
Mhm.
she's gonna like run along. So she sticks her clawed fist weapon into the earth
Mhm.
and begins attuning to graviton mode. And then launches herself along the wall, just running full speed as fast as she can, and then pushing off and warlock jumping that double jump.
Why don't you make that athletics check for me?
Okay, but
yeah.
Okay,
I've been
but
making-
yes.
I've been making it badly all week with Destiny, so
Oh,
okay. Oh no. Let's say an 11.
You
Out of
leap
30.
off of the wall, flying through the air, and then you realize
Yeah.
it's not enough. And you
Yeah.
desperately reach over, trying to scrabble onto the edge,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
your chin makes contact with the ice
Yeah.
shelf. And you are gonna take, 10 points of damage as
Okay.
it crunches into your jaw, and you begin to slide desperately down the ice. Athletics check.
Okay. I'm just doing some quick math. That's better. 18.
18. Your blade shifts out of your fist and grinds into the ice, slowing you to a stop,
Yeah.
so that you're just dangling
Yeah.
by that one hand.
Mhm.
You're up.
Oh, it's me again.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, are we cutting away? It's probably fine. I don't know. I'm scared. Okay, great. So, so I catch myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to activate. I'm still attuned to gravity,
Mhm.
so yeah. So I'm gonna keep activating my gravity
Yeah.
boost as I spider climb the wall, and I just on all fours pushing,
That's so good. Oh,
pushing.
that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you
and reaching to like get to the top and land.
land. Boom! Superhero
Yeah.
landing on top from like
Yeah.
half
Yes.
piping over.
Yeah.
I love that. Ahead of you are 3 caves. One on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right.
Is the sound stronger from one or the other? Cool. I'm gonna go through the one on the left because we're gonna be methodical about this. We're gonna clear every cave and then come back and fight the boss. No, I don't know. I'm scared. Okay.
This cave weaves forward, kind of twisting back and forth, clearly carved by some kind of a creature. You can see like imprints in the side of the walls, but it's also, you can notice that it's actively getting warmer, and the walls are beginning to sweat.
Oh, really? That's good. That's a good sign.
Kia,
Desna is the sun.
you're alone in the large room full of ice mirrors. You stand there staring.
Ah, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were gonna say something else, and I was just waiting, like, clenched. I first of all, I go, Jabby, Jabby. Okay. Okay. And I look to where the door is.
Yeah.
Like the same door. Is it still there?
No.
Okay. I like look up at the ceiling to see if like if they're mirrors, maybe I can see something from up there, like a bird's eye perspective.
Yeah, you do. You do. The mirror is starting to sweat as well, and drops are starting to like form on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you continue to like watch this happen, the drops start to like elongate, much more than like it looks viscous, right? Because water just like falls. This is like watching a stalactite and a stalagmite be formed in a single drop, and it kind of like spins as it goes down. And then when it falls, this entire stalagmite tumbles to the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them falling down until they land on the ground, but they don't shatter. They gel up, forming into these like, they look like skeletons, right? But they look like skeletons that are like encased inside of this black jelly.
Ooh.
And they start to shuffle towards you.
Oh, yikes. I'm quickly just gonna go, red, and a spear from my back, shing, flies out. Welcome to season 2, Kia, y'all.
Oh, yes!
Flies out.
Yeah.
My hand up, and I catch it. And it's my big, oh, it's not a spear, it's a dueling sword. My bad, I've lied to you all.
It could be a spear.
No, I like dueling sword better.
Cool.
It's more
Awesome.
and she catches it in her hands, and goes, okay, could y'all, chill? Get it? And she laughs to herself and then kind of starts to sweat herself.
One of them gets close enough and lunges at you and misses wildly as you dance backwards, kind of parrying it out of the way. Your turn.
All right. I'm gonna try to hit it with my freaking sword because I wanna. That is a nat 20, so 20.
Let's not even worry about the damage.
Yeah.
You dance backwards, like parrying it out, and then just thrust forward. Talk to me about what this dueling sword looks like. Let's talk for a second about what kind of a sword is it?
It's like if a scimitar got put in a taffy puller. So it still has a little like curvy thing to it.
Yeah.
But it's thin. It's long and thin, and it doesn't look like it should be a dueling sword, but it is.
Cool. Totally.
But Kia makes it work as
yeah,
per
so
usual.
it's like a very thin saber, right?
Yes.
Kind of like a Schlager bladed rapier with an arc to it that's bladed on one side.
You are using
so
many weapon terms.
I'm so sorry.
I will need picture references and an essay on my desk by Thursday.
Fantastic. So you like beat it out of the way, and then thrust forward, the blade like piercing through this thing's skull, and it like explodes out in light and begins to crumble down into its various different pieces. But as you like move backwards, you realize that more of them have landed behind you, and you're surrounded by 10 of them, many of which take a swing at you, and one of which criticals. What's your armor class? Kinetic. No, energy.
Kinetic,
Energy. I'm so sorry.
16.
16. All right. That is 2 hits plus the crit. 2 hits plus the crit. Oh, that was bad.
Again.
That was bad. I just rolled the same number twice. That's 43 damage.
Oh my god.
I am at 1 stamina now.
I have got stamina.
I got 1 stamina.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's you're up.
Mild.
You're up.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm
I
gonna.
will raise you A.
I'm rethinking all that I've ever done.
In life.
I'm going to grab my sword and with my left hand, basically I take my sword, put it behind me with my left hand in a cone shape in front of me. I cast a level 2 force blast, which is
Hold up right there.
yeah,
Would you remind me the name of your god?
mine.
Yeah.
Yaresa, so Yaraesa.
Thank you.
Of course.
Everybody's got one. A god.
Everyone's got a god or two, you know?
Everybody's got one, at least one god, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs one god.
You get a god, and you get a god, and you get a god.
Everybody ought to have a god.
Oh my god, why can I find nothing on Yaresa?
God.
How do you spell
Everybody.
it again? I'm so sorry.
Yaraesa.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Brushing up my lore. Yes, cool. All right. So you reach forward into yourself and pull that like pit of faith, that like little seed of belief inside of you, and bring it out forward of you, letting forth this blast of faith. But it sparks into emptiness at your fingertips.
What?
And the shadows in a moment melt, and all that's left is darkness around you and this sound. You abandoned me. Your faith has wavered for a lesser. Be alone. And over your shoulder, you feel long fingers extend down onto your chest. And a deep voice of stars and what is this word? Stars and terror says, "Oh, you're never alone, Kia." Jabby.
Ow.
Oh my god. Yes, this is everything. Okay.
I feel like I have an image for this, and you can tell me if this is not okay, right?
Okay.
So, like, you looked away when you were very close to Kia. So you, like,
Yeah.
were very close to, like, grabbing onto her leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you
right,
grab
exactly.
onto her leg,
Uh-huh.
and you look up, and it's a shadow. Of much larger shadow than it should be, right? And this kind of reptile silhouette looks down at you and asks, Why did you leave?
Um, Throxer? Is that you?
Why did you leave?
I think we're remembering this differently. I'm pretty sure you're the one who left, and then I followed you, which I was on Epsilon Station all the way. We're not home anymore.
Oh.
This isn't. Are you real?
Why did you leave us? The voices come from all around. And
Oh,
as
I
you
don't like
look
that.
up, the the ice is melting into fire, and out of it are walking shadows of other Skittermanders. And as they flicker back and forth, and the light cast from a million different places, you see that many of them are covered, or not covered. They're not covered specifically. They don't have skin in places, and white, milky irises have taken over their eyes. Why did you leave? Why did you leave? Why did you leave?
It was just a normal day, and then someone needed help, so I gave them directions, and then why did you leave? Okay, I was the only one, and then I waited for all of you, and then the ship left, and now it's just me. You left me, all of you, and I get Allura has these different quests that people go on and secrets, and I don't know what the secret here is, and I can't say I'm really enjoying this one.
Blackness all around you as the fire goes out. And all that's left is this, like, shadow standing above you, like, barely visible, just a little bit less of a shadow with a little bit of forms and contours in it. And its eyes open one at a time, showing these bright white stars that look down at you. And it just says, alone. And you find yourself falling away. Caster.
Yeah. So I left through that steel door.
Blast through the door, and there's more light out here, and it kind of like blinds you for a second, but I mean, I don't think you give a shit. You're running right now, right? And it's this long hallway, and there are several doors on the side. The ice has begun to like creep back in, but it's all like sweating away now and starting to like form water underneath you, and you hear splashing from one of these like caverns to your right, and out of it comes Amaruk.
Oh.
Who is running, and you, Amaruk, you're running ahead, and you're trying to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Do
absolutely.
I see Caster?
Yeah, absolutely. You look behind you, you see Caster.
Yeah. Okay, and I say, this way.
Run ahead. Behind you, the thing. Amaruk shouts back, this way, and behind you this thing is continuing to grow and chase you, right? Its shadows spreading out across the walls as you look backwards as its feet stomp in the water, sending splashes forward. And eventually, Kia and Jabby emerge from sides of the wall as well, joining you on this long dash down this corridor until finally you open up into this massive room, and the Kingfisher is sitting down, off kilter, at the bottom of this like kind of divot, this like ruined crash divot, because it looks like it's crashed through the wall here, right? And there are like remnants of explosions and broken buildings on either side, and the thing is pursuing you. Actions.
Out of character, immediately, like in my brain, Caster's like, "That's not my baby."
Yeah. She kind of closes her eyes and listens very intently for this inner song that she's been fighting for, because there's something about this that does not seem right.
It's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's something about this image of the Kingfisher that she knows can't be true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amaruk, so what is there instead?
I'm gonna take you into a GM moment. You're not Amaruk right now. You need to get out of here.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Are you willing to go with this?
Yeah, sure. Bye.
I just need your voice.
Okay.
Yeah, let me pilot your voice like a mech. I'm figuring out how to do this. I'm figuring out how to do this, and I'm not sure. So
I
excuse
didn't know
the
that you wanted
excuse
to
the
be me
flicker.
for a second.
Yeah, I gotta be
Go
you,
for
but
it.
I need your voice.
Oh,
So you say
okay.
everyone into the Kingfisher.
Everyone into the Kingfisher now.
That's how I should have done it. Thank you all so much.
Okay.
So you, Jabby and Kia both pile into the like slightly off kilter gangplank, which is down. Caster.
I see what's happening.
Can I have a flash grenade. Can I toss it at the shadowy thing that's
Absolutely.
pursuing?
Make that check.
Cool. So that's going to be a strength test, strength for throwing weapons, plus base attack bonus. Great, and I have to do that. Yeah, buddy, that is a 12.
12. Fantastic. You chuck it backwards, and the flash erupts, and this thing pulls back for a second, but then kind of works its way around the light, heading towards you as you run up the gangplank and dive practically into the captain's seat. It takes you only a couple of seconds to boot it back up, and you're able to take off and zip out into the light and the air above. And you flick on like the reverse camera, and this darkness is coming. Faster and faster, and as you pull more and more power to the engines, pulling away the shield, shutting down the weapons, eventually turning off the life support, as you watch everyone like put on masks and desperately pray that this is going to go away, it begins to creep in the sides of the ship, boiling its way into the cracks of the Kingfisher, eventually making its way up onto the...
Hello?
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 And then the alarm rings, and it was all a bad dream, and you wake up. And this shape creeps over your shoulder, and you try to get up, but it forces you down, and you look at yourself in the face, your head split open and slowly drooping away as both the eyes make contact with yours.
Oh.
And it says, "You can't save them." Amaruk.
Save them.
Yeah. Amaruk.
Okay.
Thank you, Anne. I'm sorry for that
No,
confusion.
that's fine. I understood what you meant. It took me a second.
It took you a
Now
second,
I got it.
and thank you so much for rolling with me, and I'm sorry that I didn't quite know how to do it.
No, you're fine. You did great.
Thank you, everyone. You are... Well, this winding tunnel goes back and forth for several switchbacks, shall we call it, and it winds up and it winds down again until finally it comes to a... How do I put this? It comes to this flat, slightly more open room, right? Which kind of looks like the nest of something. But the something isn't here right now. You can see some droppings in the corner, and maybe some like bones of some critters, clearly not of Laka.
Yeah.
But at the center of the room, there's a pool. Right?
I go to it.
You go to the pool.
Yeah.
And as you look down inside of it, the water is like pristine, just perfectly clear. And down deeper inside of it, you can see these protruding thermal vents. They're like busting up from the ground, emitting lots of heat out from under them, melting the water so that this pool leads down and underneath.
Okay. I'm going to follow the water, because that's where the heat is, and the plasma and the heat is where Desna is in my mind. Yeah. So she takes a moment, and activates her suit, her armor, to get like her extra barrier,
Nice.
And then she dives down into the water.
Or you don't even hear it. I guess you do, though, right?
I feel it
You feel it,
more than hear it.
right?
Yeah.
And the water rushes over you, and the first thing that you receive is that terrible, biting cold that tries to suck every last drop
Yeah.
of life out of your lungs.
And as I do that, I shift my focus. I drop my focus on graviton and start shifting photon. Now that's just RP, because obviously like I have to be in danger to activate a thing, so I'm not loading it up, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not trying to
it's
cheat.
fine. I don't think you're cheating.
Okay.
Those rules are really weird.
Yeah. We all know.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
strange.
No, part of the best part about Starfinder is that a lot of the rules are like, here's a thing, but like it's very open, so do what you will.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's gonna try to attune more so with the Desna side of her grand compact to keep the balance in order to keep her
Absolutely.
warm.
Why
in
don't
the
you
water.
make a fortitude save with advantage for that lovely RP?
Advantage?
Advantage.
That's a natural 20. Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. I'm so warm. I'm warmed by Desna. Okay. Ow.
The ice hits your chest, and you're reminded of fishing,
Yeah.
which the Vlaka do face first.
Yeah.
In huts, right? You actually like dive underwater in over these large pools and like grab fish and bring them
like
back up,
bears.
scrambling back up and cooking them in these little huts that you have out on the ice spreads. So you that's so cool. The things that come out of a natural 20.
It's so good.
So you swim forward. And as you swim, you realize that the thermal vents are making heat that is lighting your way, and the heat from them begins to join with your Solarian focus, and all the solar energy begins to bind around you as you push, streaming through the water, forward, ahead, until finally you see a crack in the ice above. Not a hole, just a crack.
Okay. Sure. So what I'm going to do is punch upward with my Solarian weapon and try and just punch through the top where it's weakest.
Great. Make that check.
So that would be an attack.
Yeah.
Ha! Okay, that's 21 to hit.
Nice. Do damage.
Oh, I shall.
Oh,
Thusly
I
I
shall.
do.
Thusly.
I get to add 2 because I'm attuned to Solarian now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is 3, 4, plus 10 is 14, 16 altogether.
Roll another damage hit. The first one, you feel it make contact and do damage, but you're like pushed down in the water and you have to swim back up. Swing
The
again.
second attack is 25 to hit.
Great. Roll damage.
Cool. That is 9. Or no, that's 11. Sorry, I misread. So 23 damage.
Smash! Your fists goes through, but you need to clear more space. Make one more attack. You know what? Just roll damage and make an athletics check with it.
Okay. Cool. 20 damage, and my athletics check is a natural 1.
Oh
So
my god.
altogether, that is 9.
That's
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me on the show.
good. I'm just gonna borrow fearlessly because I love this. So you like push down and up, boom, boom. You're like bouncing off the base of this area and back, slamming over and over and over again, trying to make this space large enough for you to push through. And finally, it cracks open, and you begin to pull yourself up. But you're so beyond out of breath. And as you drag yourself up, you start to slip on the ice, and you're unable to get purchase, and you slide backwards, falling into the water, and your last desperate efforts fade into blackness.
No, wait a second.
Until something grabs your paw and you're ripped up your chest on the ice, breathing heavily, coughing water up onto this like pure blue surface of it looks like this ice has never been touched by anything. It looks like it was zambonied yesterday. Is the only way I can describe it. It's like NFL perfect. Wait, NHL.
Yep, there's an H.
That's it. That's the
That's a
one.
You
crazy
got it.
basketball
Or-
game there, Miles.
Also,
Whoa.
that's NFL is
That's
football.
NBA.
Oh yeah, no, I don't play sports.
We are showing some true cards here. I'm so sorry,
So
everyone.
sorry.
Football.
And you like manage to crawl up,
Yeah.
and as you do, like getting up, you see that there's this skeleton, this Vlaka skeleton that is on the ground, face forward, reaching
Yeah.
out, and as you lift your wrist up, your hand comes free of its grasp.
I'm scared. Oh, I'm sorry.
It
Okay,
doesn't
but
move.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So she instead of like shaking it, like she looks and like shakes a little bit, and then carefully removes it and lays it to rest there. And she doesn't know, but she knows, and she says, "Thank you, Yenny, wherever you are." And then what else do I see in the room? Just the skeleton?
Yeah, so this room is it's very naturally hewn, right? It looks like a natural crack in the ice. The ice underneath you is pure white, but the ice on either side of the room is like or pure blue, right? But the ice on either side of the room that forms this like kind of awkward pyramid of of seismic grinding, right? This is in between two glaciers. They're like butting up against each other. They're all like white, and little bits of like snow kind of crumble down. Yenny is sprawled out forward, right? He has thick leather armor that remains mostly intact, but is very, very brittle, right? And sitting about 4 inches in front of his forehead is a piercingly blue claw that is about 3 inches in length and is weaved inside of it with these veins of white. Not white, opal.
This is everything. Sorry. I like stones. So sorry. Okay. Cool. That's fine. I'm fine. Cool. So I move forward and I kind of drop to both of my knees. And she just kind of like water dripping off of her fur on either side as she just stares at this, like her paws on the ground on either side of it, just drinking in the sight of this incredible artifact that has only really lived in legend for her people. And she kind of crosses her hands in front of her, and then she closes her eyes and says, "Desna, you are the first thing I ever heard in my heart. And I have chosen you every single day. And I hope that it is not hubris to ask you to choose me, because we really need you to do that, Desna. The Vlaka need you. The black butterfly is buffeting them with winds of persuasion that I cannot move without you. Please, Choose me, and I will keep the balance. And then she reaches forward and grabs the claw.
And the ceiling explodes out. Ice being spit out into an eternal void of stars and fire as you fly upwards into this absence. And ahead of you, as you stare into the beyond, it breaks, opening up. And in the light on the far side, erupting out of it, you see three sets of 3 dots, 9, spreading out. And they press their way towards you, closer, closer, closer. And then that way where you can see things that aren't really there or aren't perceivable, but you know anyways. You realize that each of these points has teeth. And then all of you wake up on your backs in the first room, gasping for air like you've been out in the void.
Is everyone okay?
I'd like to hug the nearest person.
Oh.
It's Castor.
This vice grip on your leg.
And I imagine Castor is frightened at this, like, oh, hi, Chabby, here.
Hey.
What? Was that real?
I don't know.
It's as real as these things, whatever. She like is putting back her in her ears, and she hears, "Was that real?" That's like the first thing she hears with her hearing aids, and she extends forward her hand with the claw in it, and she says, "As real as any of these things are ever meant to be. If you can feel it, then it's true."
Amaruk looks different.
How so? Please tell.
Amaruk has streaking black mask marks across her eyes now, like shooting stars.
Oh my god.
That winged liner, though.
Oh, Desna's collection.
Amaruk, look at yourself. And Kia points to the ceiling, the mirrored ceiling.
Yeah. And she like holding the thing up, so the view she gets is like her face and her hand and like the arrayed crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around this image of this claw, and just like the change on her face.
You look really pretty.
You say that again.
Wow. I don't know how to handle compliments in real life or in a fantasy, apparently. Don't know how to do it. Let's pretend, Anne. Let's play pretend. And she says, "I don't know what you all saw, but I saw hope."
I'm just going to be the first to say that I did not see hope. But
Yeah, me either. It was pretty freaking scary.
Mine was pretty bland, actually. And I let go of Castor, just kind of dust myself off.
Bland?
Yep. Yeah, no, I
roll-
just
Can
kind of
roll
fell asleep
insight
for a bit.
check on that?
You can tell I'm lying. It's bad.
Okay, you're like, it's bad.
This
it's
is
bad.
not. This is just like,
Yeah.
yep.
And she says, she looks kind of confused, as so many who are faithful to a deity sometimes feel. And she says, "Well, there are many voices that one can hear in the void when all else goes quiet and there's no other distractions. So, were you all alone?"
Apparently not.
I was alone, I think. Well, none of us were there. I don't... Wait, except we were. The Kingfisher was there for me. Which... We'll talk about it when we get to the ship, maybe. The actual Kingfisher. Maybe this isn't the best place to have a little show and tell.
I don't
Right.
like this place.
I can't say, just for the record, I don't think that I liked it. I just saw the truth. And the truth was hard. I mean, I almost fell to my death. I almost drowned. But then Yenny, somehow, his spirit was there to help me in the last moments when I was failing.
Did you say Yenny?
Well, I mean, how much crazier can I get, right? So there was this really cool skeleton hand that sort of reached out and pulled me out of a pool that I thought I was going to drown in.
Oh, okay.
And it was like Yenny dead ass.
The first claw Yeti.
Well,
The
he is
first
pretty
the
dead, so.
claws. The original claw. The unifier.
Prime.
He was there, but then he was gone, and then I just sort of was like, Desna, I like you. Do you like me? Check 1 for yes, 2 for no, or 3 for maybe. And it sort of seemed like,
If only God's prayers were answered by that.
oh my god.
New God, who
Kill
dis?
me.
Oh no.
And,
Why are you passing notes in existence?
Attention, go to hell.
Would you like to share with the rest of the packed world?
Amazing.
Quality.
Yeah, but so I believe you when you say you didn't necessarily see good things. I saw a lot of struggle and challenge before I saw anything good, and even then, Desna did not speak to me, although I guess, and she looks up and then looks back down and smiles. I think she said everything she intends to.
Interesting. Well, if Desna or whatever shadowy blob monsters showed me the truth, I'm gonna not accept that truth.
What do I do with this claw, Miles? Like, what does it look like? What would I know? It's a Solarian crystal, but a
absolutely.
claw?
Let's talk about
Okay.
what you get.
What do I get besides
Which
upset?
we voted on this week.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, girl.
So this is the community's gift to you.
Oh.
The claw blasts out with bursts of force damage, giving you advantage on knockdown and bull rush attempts.
Ooh.
And like
Oh
other
my
things
God.
to like put people down, right? Like other combat maneuvers to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey there.
It also gives you the option to do. I didn't say this in that. I kind of implied it. Gives you the option to do force damage.
Instead of just
Fire, which is what you're usually
fire.
doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
Join the force damage
The
club.
force damage brigade.
That's
Cool.
nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Love that. Oh, yes. Everything.
Good.
Thank you, voters. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
We'll have another one.
If you want to
next week.
participate in those votes, go over here.
She's about
to
to drop that
Patreon.
link.
Dropping that link. And again, everything is free while we're in quarantine, so you can enjoy and vote and participate to your heart's content.
Fantastic. So, you all depart, leaving the room behind and heading out down the long, silent corridor and finding the howling of the wind somewhat comforting again, away from the silence of mystery. What is his name? Oh no. I was pausing for
Goruk?
effect and then I forgot a name. Goruk!
Go.
Goruk is waiting. He's made like a little igloo that he's like hiding out inside of, right? In the time that you were gone. But someone's with him. Your mother, Amaruk, is sitting next to him. They're playing cards. And as you come in, she stands up and walks over to you and, like, reaches out. Her long, clawed hands touch your eyes and brush the fur away. And she, like, reaches down and rips open part of your armor and chest, right? And the cloth underneath it, and you see that you have emblazoned on you a black sun and a black moon. And she says, "Ha!" and pushes you backwards into the snow. And then kind of like
Mom!
dances and kind of like chuckles and bounces back and then flips over a full house in front of Goruk.
Yes!
Hey.
So good.
Actions, questions, concerns.
Yeah, I mean, she's still kind of like taking it in. And she's like, kind of just she's busy with examining herself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, fair.
Wow. Sidebar. Goruk, you got any snacks?
Yeah, I do. Do you like jerky?
No. No. Do you is that it? Is that all you have?
I have mushroom rations.
That sounds really good. I'll pay you back.
He's like, it gives you this tube of like mushroom paste that like heats up inside of it. So it's like a warm mushroom paste that you like go-gurt up into your mouth.
Honestly, that sounds good.
It tastes
Why
really,
is he underselling
really
that?
good to you.
Yeah.
As you eat it, him and Amaruk's mom are like,
I'm like slurping. Very loud. His tummy was very empty. The brain and heart are full.
oh, that's lovely. Yeah, the card game is called Go Hunt. It's like Go Fish, but the pairs they make are things that you hunt.
Amazing. I
Nice.
love that.
That's so lovely. Thank you, Starmund.
And she finally like gets herself up and she is just tearing off her armor so that she can stand backdrop, like again with the backdrop of the we've already established that Vlaka don't care about clothes. They just wear them to express themselves, right? Like there's no like shame about it. And so she just wants to see herself, and so she pulls off all the armor, all of this like power armor that she has on, and then looks in the mouth of the cave and then looks back up towards the dying sun and just and howls as loud as she can.
Kia joins in.
Yeah.
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 Ah.
Jabbie next to him, all teeth. Ah!
Grim.
Yeah. And she just grabs like all the howling people that choose to howl and just like hugs them.
You look over and Goruk is like leaning against the igloo, watching you and grinning.
What are you smiling about?
So if this were a TV show, that would be the end right there, right? That would be the end. So let's talk about, like, let's do a little bit of that like, what happens in between this episode and the next episode, right? Because that's, like, too good. You having this, going through this change and howling at the fucking sun is so perfect. I also love that now Vlaka are creatures that choose whether they howl at the moon or the sun.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah.
We did it,
really
guys.
cool.
We did it here.
I think that's really, really cool. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, it's not important right now. We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you head back to I named this town, but I'm not gonna bring it up again. The town that you guys were in last episode, the Vlaka capital, right? Or not the Vlaka capital, the Yucca capital.
Right.
And you get the same cold response, but that starts to very quickly warm as soon as they see your face, right? And the old Vlaka are saying, it's the mark. It's the mark. The mark of Desna. And indeed, as you start to look more at yourself, you realize that you have the butterfly wings of Desna on you, with all
This
the parts
is
of the
so good.
cosmos.
Yeah.
You
For tattoos forever.
begin to work hard on getting everyone ready to leave. It's like a
Yeah.
very difficult thing to ask, right? And at first there's a lot of resistance, but as soon as you show the claw and your different appearance and the story that is told about your journey into the caves, it does
Yeah.
not take long to convince people. Your friend Clip has secretly been outfitting most of the large buildings in the town to actually lift off, and they're void capable, so they're like
That's so cool.
portable ships,
Yeah.
right, that are able to like take off and go, and they have drift drives in their basements, and they
I
can
love
go
him.
over.
It's Howl's
What a-
Moving Castle
What
with
a good boy.
literal howling.
Ooh, I need to
Such
learn
a
to
good
make
boy.
that.
Yeah.
All of you had journeys. Let's talk about your after effect. Let's start with you, Dex.
Yeah, after that, Jabby would definitely try and like find some alone time to write everything down
Yeah.
about what happened. In his just like personal journal section on his computer,
Yeah.
talking to the AI Trill about what happened. Um,
Talk to me
yeah,
about Trill. Let's talk about Trill.
Yeah. So Trill is like all of his stuff, like he's self-taught with all his stuff.
Yeah.
So made this handmade computer, and the artificial personality he put on, because you know sometimes you need someone to talk to while you're working on stuff. And right now, he has the Pop Diva uh aspect, like chip put in, for some just kind of pep and high energy to just kind of contrast and decompress from that, because Jabby does not feel sadness. He refuses. So he just kind of goes about like, oh, that was interesting. But I definitely want to take time to research those buildings on how to get the blueprints for that. I want to find out about getting blueprints for like the underwater stuff and see about um, trying to figure out how to fix the gliders for that other clan. And very pointedly, a few moments will like flash back and he'll see like the kind of corpsey looking shadows, and then he'll get right back to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trill. What is Trill's pop culture response to this?
Imagine like Hatsune Miku, just like super anime pop diva. Uh, and yes, I do want you to
Oh,
do this.
Chabi-san! No! You have such hard life! I'm sorry. That took a left turn.
Oh man.
I
Oh
went
man,
as
I'm
hard
so
as
ready.
I could.
I love it.
Great. All
There are
right,
no wrong
I'll
answers.
think about Trill.
Thank you.
We all will.
Caster.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting because he's very happy that Amaruk has such a net positive experience, let's say. And especially the part that, you know, she thinks that Desna showed her the truth. And there's this denial and this awful feeling of just like, that's not the truth. That's not the truth that I want.
Yeah.
But what if it is? And like, it's starting to kind of doubt it. Like, of course, like, if it is some sort of like dark demonic presence or something like that, of course it's going to, you know, slip a lie or two in there. But like, it felt really real, and he was literally being broken apart. So I think throughout the entire time that they're still on Logic, he's going to be kind of distant and kind of have a very stale smile, maybe. There's just something about the experience that kind of is still haunting him, I think.
Yeah.
But I also think that since, you know, he loves like learning about Vlaka culture through Amaruk, now he's in the the center of it, and he's just completely enjoying himself with the other boofers.
Amazing.
Just to make friends.
Lovely. And Kia.
So her first night back, she is saying her prayers before bedtime. And she prays to Eureka, and apologizes just profusely to this god that she just has no faith in. And then, for the first time, she decides to try and pray to Bestmara.
Ooh.
Because she believes that Bestmara was with her in that room.
Oh.
And that
So ready.
the other voice. And so she just, like, in her brain, it feels like she just kind of opens a channel to be like, hey, just throwing myself out there. Was that you? If it was, please give me a sign. I would love to know. And that's all I need. I just need to know.
Great.
And
Miles is so happy with your decisions right
yeah.
now.
That's so
And then also the next day, I want to find Freyas, the diver.
Yeah.
The bird, and basically like find out where she lives, and like knock on her door and try and see if she can talk to her.
So you can make a call because she lives in a different city. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
I'm
you
gonna make a
find
call
her,
to-
find her call, and you absolutely call her, and the two of you have a very nice conversation.
Great.
What do you talk about?
I tell her about my journey. I like tell her everything. Like every single thing that happened in the cave. And I'm like, listen, I don't have many people to talk to about this kind of thing, but like, I know you probably experience a lot of the biodiversity of this planet, and I would really love to trade notes sometime and or take you out for coffee if you want. And I really like your eyes. They're really cool. Also, I'm going through a crisis of faith. Anyway, how's your day going?
Oh my god! You have a great conversation about the fauna of Lajok, right? Especially about the strange creatures that have evolved underneath the glaciers in the little thermal pockets, right? These colorless and strange worm-like fish that exist down there. But she doesn't even fucking touch your crisis of faith. It's just too much
Adorable.
for a little being. And eventually you guys load massive amounts of as much supplies as you possibly can onto the Kingfisher. Everyone piles into the buildings. The Vlaka from other clans have come to pick up and scrap a lot of the nomadic clan, especially the Aslag, have come, and they basically like strip the remaining pieces in the time that it takes you to go into drift. It's all gone.
Oof, that's rough. That's a lot
And
to take in.
you leap into the drift, zipping forward into this color wheel kaleidoscope of an in-between, right? This dimension that is 100% travel. And why don't you roll? How many d6s? I think it's 3d6, but I'm gonna double check. Each one of you roll a d6, and we'll go from there.
Great.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 6.
All right, Amaruk, roll one more.
6.
Great. So it's gonna take you 3 weeks to get there.
Whoa.
So you have 3
boy.
weeks.
We did not
stuck.
roll that well that time.
No, you did not.
Oh man.
3 weeks
Oh, boy.
stuck inside of this tiny ship
Yeah.
that's overfilled with cargo.
Yeah.
And you mostly, I think, keep to yourselves during this time, right? Everyone's tring to avoid Amaruk, because Amaruk's very happy. and everyone else is dealing with
Their lives.
what they're dealing with.
Yeah, their crisis.
Trauma.
About halfway
Yeah.
through the trip, Kia, you can't sleep. You haven't been able to sleep. You're waiting, and you know you're waiting, and like that's okay. You've waited before, right? But it's
My entire life, more like.
what was that?
My entire life, more like.
Exactly. And you make your way up to the cockpit of the Kingfisher and like the command deck surrounding it, and these like large viewports that lead out, right? And you find your way down around in front of the captain's chair and are staring out into this kaleidoscope of space, or not space, this in between, and something movement in an eternal space of movement catches your eye from the side, and you look over, and this massive Leviathan is breaching through the side of the drift.
Whoa.
And your drift tunnel is like shaking and shuddering, and it's starting to like affect the ship, and everything's beginning to shake and shiver as these shattering pieces of the drift start to fall off like broken stained glass, rippling over, and it sounds like rain passing over the top of your ship. And this whale arches over. It's like its underside is covered with like rows and rows of misshapen tentacles, and as it gets closer you realize that many of them have bands of gold wrapped around it, arched with these incredible twisting and wreathing designs. And as it shifts, it rolls over top of your ship, and for a second this massive gray-green eye stares at you before it rolls off and out the other side of the portal. And that's where we're leaving it for tonight.
Man. Oh, so good.
Oh, we
Guys,
love.
tonight was a night.
Oh, that's a sign, BB.
Oh, thank you all so much.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for sticking it out. That was
Smuggles,
so
nope.
cool.
Yes.
What
Yes,
a
moguls.
cool- I've just been like so longing to see these other characters like on their own in a situation, and like this is just everything. I'm like leaning off screen because I'm too excited. I'm so sorry. I've been longing for it, and I'm so excited that we got it. And Miles, thank you so much for creating all of that for us.
Thank
That was
you all.
such a
That was
gift.
good.
It's such a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Well, guys, I think that about does it for the story portion of tonight. Now, Miles, I suppose I should have asked you this off stream, but are we going to do our after show here?
I don't
Since
see
it
any reason
would
why
have
we
been-
should go offline. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to take a quick break. If you are new and you want more of this incredible tale as we try to colonize Brightclaw,
Yeah.
3 weeks from now, literally next week, but in canon 3 weeks from now, go ahead and give us a follow.
Yes.
Check out the Patreon as well. I'll put it in here so you can look at that during the break.
Yes.
And we will return shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and be sure to
Yeah.
join the Discord, which Stormwind
Yes.
just put up because we have the best Baby Bard crew ever.
Thank you, Stormwind.
Because we have private channels for all of these people, all of these characters, right, who interact in character or out of character, and you can ask them questions privately. I don't even look at what they are. No one else looks at what's going on in each other's channels. So it's a private way to interact and get some insider on the story. And
absolutely.
that is going to, as soon as the quarantine is over, that will go back to being patrons only. So get a step up and go pledge right now in this break.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Even a dollar helps.
It really does in this time. Yo, we are so happy to have our awesome 10 patrons that we have, and let's make it 15 right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back. are back. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. What a freaking night that was. Thank you, everyone, for letting me traumatize you thoroughly.
I love
Yes,
that.
thank
I
you.
love that.
It hurts so good.
That's a good question.
man.
Anne, why are you so cute?
Well-
Everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
I worked really hard on it.
Working.
Yeah, I worked really hard on it. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment. I say thank you because that's what you do when someone compliments you.
That's true.
And I am currently super obsessed with the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, which is normally what you can find me wearing in various iterations on this channel. So that helps my cuteness certainly. And Baby Bell cheese.
And Baby Bell cheese.
I'm fueled on it. Help.
CH Dill wants to know if any of us have ever taken a character from first level to max level, and I definitely have not, nor have I seen anyone.
No.
I've gotten up to 15. My first bard that I ever had.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
in Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. Hallowed be its name. R.I.P. in peace. But she was Raiden, a gnome bard who had war drums instead of like a lute, and she started out as some she had a different name, but she became Raiden because they all, much like tonight, this actually really reminded me of it. We all went on a vision quest at when we got, because in that game you would get your it was like a not a precision class, a prestige class basically, that you would get and choose your pathway. So much like you choose at level 3 now, like which way you're going, at like level 12 or 14, something like that, you chose a prestige class that further customized your class.
Yeah.
And I chose, I believe it was called Voice of Thunder. And so I went into a cave. I just like caves, apparently. I went into a cave
caves.
and I played my drum to summon a thunder elemental that I then had to best in one-on-one combat. And when I finally killed it, it exploded and then was sucked into my body. So when I went back down the mountain, I was a tiny gnome a tiny gnome with a thunder elemental living inside of me. So it totally changed
That's
my character.
cool.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
it was
very
really
cool.
cool. Shout out to Chris Gravenstein, who was my DM for that adventure. I was like, is D&D the best? I think it might be the best.
Yeah.
I think it is.
For real.
So
Yeah.
Totally.
I have never gotten anywhere near max level with a character. Nowhere
Nope.
near.
Master Stormwind has another good question for Kia.
Yeah.
What is the main reason Kia is having this existential crisis, and is she going to talk with the captain about it?
Oh, that might not be something you want to answer right here. Ooh.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to answer that here. Hit me up in our the private Discord. I'll
Yeah.
tell you all about that because it is a bit of a long story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know what? Maybe I can make like a video. Would y'all be interested if I made a video explaining like
Yes.
Kia and her faith?
Oh God, but I won't watch it. I
Yeah.
promise I won't watch it. I'll want to because you're really great.
I'll make a video. I'll make a video about it tomorrow. Upload it and I'll post an unlisted link in my
Yeah. In the Discord, which again I'll throw up right here.
The seed of that is also Patreon content that Helena and I already made. That is.
Yeah. That is
so
on
we did put
Patreon.
that up, right? I did. This has
That is-
been a time.
Yeah,
y'all.
it's there.
There's a little comic strip and
that Helena drew.
Yes, that I drew. Be kind. And then a full-length kind of scene recorded that
So good.
that we originally just RP'd over like Facebook Messenger, and then I was like, we should record this and make a thing.
It should be real.
And we did.
Yeah. So we did it.
Yeah.
So,
It was
but
really
yeah,
good.
I'll make like a little teaser explanation tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, I'm excited for them. I can't see it. It's really hard because I'm like a fan of the show who was on the show.
Yes.
And so like I really want to see like I really like respect the hell out of all of the like ways that Miles interacts with you guys and gets like your input on stuff. Miles actually has an awesome world building stream where he very rightly does not world build for this because I watch it constantly and nothing would ever be a surprise. But you should go over to Geeks for Good. That's the letter four, the number four. Where are
Number
we?
4.
And then good. And give them a quick follow when you're done here, just to make sure if you're not already following.
Come
over
hang
there,
out. We're playing a lot of Animal
come
Crossing.
hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. No, right now we're building, every Wednesday I'm taking a new shot at building a dungeon it's in Eberron, and the
Yeah.
dungeon is a lock.
Yeah.
So
it's really
it,
cool.
Like it has connector rooms that rotate around to like connect to other rooms. I'm like so
it's
pleased
super
with it.
cool. It's super cool, and it's just like it terrifies me because every single time I watch you, I was like, he's gonna do this to me one day. He's gonna do this to me one day. Like that's all I can think of. But the cool thing is that if you guys enjoy that and want to participate, I feel like Miles really, your energy is like effervescent when you're bouncing ideas off of the community. And that's exactly what the Patreon is for. And I know we just keep saying Patreon, but it's free right now. So I'm not trying to push it on you. You know, we know that this is a hard time for everybody, but we want you to participate with us. And now is a time where more of you can get to do that. And then if you like it when things are a little less insane, then we hope that you will join us. Or if you can join us now with a pledge, that's great too.
Exactly. Because it's nuts out there. We dying out here, to quote.
We
We dying out here.
Yeah.
Out here.
Yeah.
I feel I want to know how I affected all of you, but I don't want to spoil anything. I'm very curious and very proud, and I want to say I'm backing away from that subject because I think it's dangerous. And instead, I want to say that I was really, really pleased with everyone's negotiation at the round table.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really cool and really interesting. The back and forth and the repartee and the way that you guys engaged with it. I thought it was really cool. I thought I was obviously self-conscious about the exposition that I had to do to make it work, right?
Yeah.
But I thought that it paid off in spades.
Oh, 100%. It's so much.
Oh, pup, that's okay. That's why we have podcast, right? So you can go back and listen because they're terrifying, I think.
They're terrifying. They're so good, but they spooky scary. Yeah, I was really shocked. When I say, oh, I'm sorry. I was really shocked because I felt like you really did a good job of giving all of them reasons to stay that were not all just like, we're misguided assholes. You know what I mean? Like they all have very, very real reasons to stay on this dying world. And like you said, it's like it could be millions of years. So in my mind, it was not a lot closer, but like somewhat closer. But I was like, yeah, I'm going with this. Like I'm going with this idea that like much like people, not to get too real, in today's world are like, hey, global warming is a thing. Maybe we should do something about that. And the rest of them are like, yeah, okay, but do we need to do it now or should we just keep focusing on our lives? You know, it's a very real
exactly.
Real thing.
Very real
thing. And so I loved that, and I liked, you know, I felt like abandoned.
Yeah, I could tell.
By the people who like sent me on this quest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To come back and have them be like, well, nobody else came back. Like, okay, cool. I'm glad that you expended 7 lives and don't care about the fact that one did. Like the cost of me coming back was all of our work, but also those 7 lives.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that was really rough. That was a rough time in my heart.
Oh,
for sure.
Terrifying.
Yeah. It was certainly interesting feeling the nerves of the situation. because I think because you did so much work on the back end of setting up this kind of political intrigue, which is so hard to do to make all these different people be actual people, like fleshed out. They have wants, they have needs, and to step into that as an outsider, both in game and out, it's interesting to be like, hey, I recently just got this medallion, so it's different for me to be like, how far can I push this
Yeah.
within reason?
Yeah.
Um, and to think like to make sure I'm taking furious notes about the different ways that I'm gonna describe different things because the angles are going to be different. Like I'm thinking, okay, how can we have an in with the fissures? Like, okay, need to learn about that tech so we can make some
Yeah.
underwater places on on Bright Claw. See
Yeah.
what are the mineral resources on Bright Claw. What are different things that are going to be different hooks? Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
the one who's the most obstinate I felt was the one worried about the history. So I thought, okay, biggest thing there,
Yeah.
try and preserve that. And then seeing how some people liked it and some people are like, who's this outsider? You know. So it's very fun. I mean, truly navigating politics
Yeah.
almost as as stressed as I would be in a combat situation,
Yeah.
trying to make sure that hey, we're not starting, a political coup or war, and especially considering we solve everything with coups or cage matches. So,
The
Coups and cage
imagery
matches.
of Frigg showing up, like when we were about to like go into cage match, which was a joke last week but is now
mhm.
real, was
That was not.
so
That was not how I
good.
expected that to go down.
It was
How did you expect it to go down in a way that doesn't ruin things?
No, it's totally all right because
Mm.
the obstacle that you were going to face
Yeah.
is I mean it's still kind of an obstacle that you're aware of, but I thought that you were not going to do so well in that conversation, right?
Mhm.
And then you made some really lucky and clever points and rolls, and I felt like I had to give you the benefit of a little bit of randomness doubt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I rolled over here, and we ended up broken down the middle.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I felt stupid because I had literally put
You
myself
could
in a
have just
place
said no.
where I was like,
Yeah.
I could have just said no to that. I could have just said
Yeah.
no to that, and now suddenly I have to do combat when I didn't have roll 20 set up because I didn't have the
Yeah,
time.
I saw your life flash before your eyes, and then I was like, "Oh no!" Like,
It's like, don't
I've been
make
there
me
as a
run
DM.
15
Mhm.
combatants right now without any help or prep.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
but you were supposed to lose that fight pretty significantly, and then you were supposed to head home, trying to take the Vlaka, and
Yeah.
or not the Vlaka, the Yuka,
Yeah.
and the Yuka were going to be really, really unhappy with the idea of being ripped away from their homes,
Oh, 100p.
right?
Mm.
But now that you've earned
Yeah.
this blessing,
Mhm.
there's much more faith in you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, I'm sure you're aware that that's like paper thin.
Flocka,
What was that?
Like a go up.
Flocka go up.
Flocka go up. Improv blues,
Yeah.
not no storm wind. But it was fun. It was really fun. Ooh.
Ooh, when do you guys think Jabby's put it in a box and forget about it? Coping mechanisms are gonna catch up to
I know
him.
exactly when.
It's gonna throw some Jabbies in the channel right now.
Oh man, that's an excellent question, and I'm just so excited to see when because oh, that's a lot of stuff to push down without putting spoilers out there. Um,
There's always
because
next week, my love.
there is always next
Yeah,
week,
I think it'll be a couple weeks.
but yeah, he's pretty good at compartmentalizing, and that's where I'll leave that at
Helena's
for
face right
now.
now.
It's
You wait,
so
sweet.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the which vision scared you the most? Each of you.
Which
It might
vision?
not be yours, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know it. It's right at the end of Casters, with all of the ship's energy being put into the engine, and then still not being able to escape, and then having that whisper in his ear as his face is literally coming apart. Yeah, I would say that's like one of the top 10 anime trauma.
Oh man.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say that's mine because it felt like a premonition rather than a like
Mhm.
puzzle.
It felt too true.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the pulling of Castor's face apart when Castor is an android who is made of several parts and is basically cut in half. So
Yeah.
the idea of pulling him in half and like undoing what was redone and the inevitable fate that comes is like that's a lot of some entropy BS right there.
Oh,
Right.
And I don't like it.
What were you gonna
Yeah.
say, Helena?
My casters as well, and the part where people were basically right about to die, and like the sounds of these people that somehow Caster knows that are begging for their life in one way or another. That to me was the scariest part of it.
yeah, that was the thing that also happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had that image in the shower, and I like made myself shiver.
Yeah.
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 I think especially
Sorry.
casters and to a lesser extent Jabby, because both had those shadow creatures. And I think because it started with, okay, well, we're not on the other side of this thing. I thought it was going to be like a haha, oh, cool. It's stress, but it's a fake out. And then, oh no, we're actually like in the thick of it. We are in mortal peril. And then I thought, oh gosh, what's going to happen to him? Because this is the first time I'd seen anything like this. And, you don't split the party. And we
Yeah.
split the
Forced
hell up.
party splitting was like
It scared, like, it kind
Zombie.
of, like, it made me think because it's like cold and dark and icy. It made me think of Hard Home from Game of Thrones, where
yeah.
just like all these, especially with the liquid dripping down for Kia, and then
Yeah.
they just kind of become like these creatures of like, ooh, ooh, and then
Yeah.
like
Proud of
don't
that.
don't add like the zombies for which add like, ooh, don't add the dead, don't do that, leave them alone.
I wish I said it at it on stream, but I wanted to call them Jellytons.
Ooh.
Oh my God, the Jellytons, jelly
That's good.
skeleton,
Excuse me, everybody.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool. I'm just very proud of that monster design. You'll fight them later.
Good.
Oh, great. Good. What? No.
My favorite undead that I think I've ever encountered in any tabletop module are these zombies in an Eberron module that are covered in glass.
No.
Oh.
So they have like a temporary HP
Yeah.
and a different damage resistance type.
Mm-hmm.
And then you break through the glass and everything about them changes. Which
Yeah.
is super cool and interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
It's so awesome.
I
Yeah.
love Eberron so much.
It's so
so
good.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
One of two things, either that like it was glass armor, or that they just have like armor shards just sticking out of them. And
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Well,
Super
I
cool.
wanted to say one thing that's super weird in this time of like social isolation.
Not even
yeah.
gonna,
that-
not even gonna PC it. Just gonna go straight for the neck.
Is being forced to be on our own and like isolated in this time where like that is a very true thing. That like when I closed my eyes and was like for the first time, because I spend so much time like playing Destiny with my friends and like sitting in front of this computer and doing all this work stuff and talking with people, that was the first time where I was like, I'm alone. This is it. Like we out here. And it was really scary to like go through the motions of asking a higher power to make you less alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am not a religious person, and so I don't experience that in my everyday life. And I was like, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
That's an actual discovery
That
I
was
made
really
about faith
powerful.
today.
And I'm embarrassed that I steamrolled that a little bit. I should have given you a little bit more time there.
I didn't feel steamrolled.
I'm glad that you
I felt
didn't
like
feel steamrolled. I felt like I could have guided it a little bit better. just in like in the spirit of awareness, right?
Uh-huh.
I would have loved to have given you just a little bit more pull there, right?
Well, I've had a lot of time to make decisions and drive things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think the best part about it being as it was, like how, because all I have to go off of is what happened, is that's why I came to the um, decision of I saw the truth, because there were no words, there was just power, not
Yeah.
like power to
Power.
become corrupt on,
Ultimate
but
power.
there was destruction and power and motion and everything that plasma and photon energy is.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. You move forward, you make things happen.
Mhm.
You don't sit and let the world collapse in around you.
Yeah.
And you could have sat there and made it happen with words, but I like, for someone who is deaf, that it wasn't about words, it was about a vision and a feeling.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if we think about people like Joan of Arc, like, you don't know what they heard.
Yeah.
You're going off of their vision and their feeling.
Yeah.
And so I like that as how it played out, honestly.
Totally. Absolutely.
Because it gives her a little bit, like you said, it's that helps with the razor thin. She is now convinced by what most people would consider a simple dream
Yeah.
and a little running on a wall that she has been chosen by God.
Little running on a wall.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Mm.
that's what I did, isn't it? Pup Games asked us a question earlier. For all, if your characters were Animal Crossing villagers, what animals would they be? And yes, you can be robot versions of animals.
Blathers.
Mm.
Yeah. Blathers.
Yes.
Also
absolutely.
the hottest of the Animal Crossing villagers, so don't at me.
He has an Argyle
Mhm.
stomach.
Which one is? Oh, is that the owl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw this like fox or wolf lady, and I guess I would be her. She's pink. I don't know. I'm not playing Animal Crossing. I'm not against Animal Crossing. Let me be very clear. I'm not against Animal Crossing. I'm just not playing
It's
it.
playing
You're
And so
Doom.
Mhm.
I don't really have an answer that's going to be super satisfactory. I've always liked
think-
DJ.
I think the question is,
What's
if
his
you
face?
were Animal Crossing villagers, just what animals would you be?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, wolf.
Yeah. Yours is
Okay.
easy. Yours is easy. I think Kia being an owl is also legitimate.
Yeah.
Right?
But with 4 wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
love
a little octopus, though
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
And
but-
yeah, I'm definitely KK Slider as well, Smoggles, because I'm eternal cowboy
Aw.
space dog.
It's so
Mm.
Yes,
true.
you are. Okay,
So
actually,
true.
I
you
had
are.
so much fun reading that little patch of him at the very beginning of the game, and I did my best. What is the name of this actor? This is going to drive me crazy. 1 second, I'm going to look up the name of this actor. Well, Caster, you tell us your animal.
Immediately, the thing that popped up in my head: penguin.
Mm.
Yeah.
Penguin.
One thing I can.
I sort of see that.
Yeah, he's just a dapper-looking penguin.
Where are you with this, Dex?
I'm thinking not like Tom Nook, but like somewhere between a raccoon and a squirrel.
A tanuki?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
so.
Or a red
Yeah.
panda.
You're
A
Red
raccoon
Tom,
dog. Red panda or a raccoon dog.
You're one of those little
Although
shits.
I think Tanuki feels more
Yeah.
skittermandery.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're one of those
Yeah.
little shits.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. The name of the cowboy is Sam Elliott. Who is
Mm.
Yeah, so I did my best Sam Elliott, and I was very proud. I'm gonna have to go
Proud of
back
you.
and listen to it.
Yeah.
New ringtone.
Amazing. Amazing. Do I have any more questions? It's been such a week, y'all.
I'm like nervous for what's gonna happen. Like, I don't like. So what's the plan, guys? Like, we're just going in 3 weeks. Yes, for chat, we will be here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern. But for the characters, 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
pass, and then we arrive on Brightclaw and hope that all the shit we set up last episode held
Mhm.
together with some kind of glue.
Yep.
Forbid there's another Hell Knight or two that came looking for Steven.
Woof.
Who
Not
would look
think
for
too
Steven?
hard about that. That was a
Jeffrey!
funny yeah.
Oh no,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Susan. It's all S
No.
names.
Susan Sarandon.
It's like that episode of Always Sunny where there's the Country Mac and City Mac are just like doing katas together, and they're like, "Oh God, there are two of them."
Oh, Irish! Thanks for the cheers!
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Bits!
thank you.
Bits! Bits!
Bits.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you so much. Give us a follow if you're new in these parts.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you around again.
Yes.
My
please
birthday's on
do.
Saturday. Give us a follow.
Yeah. Happy birthday
Yes.
to me.
Let me manipulate you.
Let me
Truly.
yeah, so
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? So we're going back,
Mhm.
and I
Right.
think what is everybody worried about? Like most worried about in terms of like going back to Brightclaw?
I think it'll be interesting seeing how the representative that we chose last time, how they'll interact with the Yuga, and just seeing how like they're more, oh gosh, less establishment question mark. So I hope people play nicely. I don't think they necessarily will, and I think that'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're gonna be disappointed. That's like the big thing. Like, and I know they're not, but what if?
Yeah.
Mhm.
My biggest thing though is that, or at least for Caster, is that I want to say this without giving too much juicy backstory detail, but like it is a legitimate thing that I thought of. So back in the days when he used to be a pirate, freedom fighter, stuff like that, he was with a group, and let's just say they didn't end on the best of terms. And if Brightclaw is going to be like a haven for uh, independent workers, let's say, that it's going to attract that group back, and
Yeah.
it's a really bad reunion.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I am nervous about bringing Goruk into the mix of all of these people that I have fought really hard to like me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not me. Everybody likes me, but like
Mhm.
Amaruk. No.
Icon.
But that's scary. Because he so far has been doing a lot of negging, right? Where like we'll finish a conversation and he'll be like, "Cool, cool, that's great. Is it?" You know what I mean? Like, and that's the end of the conversation. And it's annoying to me because it is there's something I never planned for was was Goruk being likable at all.
Mm.
I never planned.
Yeah, the way you describe him is always just like the opposite of Amaruko. So far, he's a little bit more charismatic than I expected him to be. So,
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's just that they of course they're so alike, so of course they don't
Mm-hmm.
get along.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot about them that's very similar, and I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to like ruin any cool character moments on stream. Miles, stop smiling and laughing at your dastardly plans.
we're giving.
But I didn't see that coming. And but I guess I've learned something here today about giving Miles something and then being surprised by my own ideas, like reimagined, and I like that. I like being surprised by my own backstory, if that makes sense. Like I can't recommend it more to any of you who are out there.
Mhm.
If you have a DM that you or a GM that you trust. But yeah, like I'm nervous that he's gonna somehow decide to dismantle everything
Yeah.
because I couldn't tell what that smile was about. Like, is he like, great, now you're so full of yourself that you're just gonna like destroy yourself in a giant ball of fire? Or was he like, I'm actually impressed with you? Like, or something else. These are all, I love being plagued by self doubt.
Yeah.
fantasy.
Crazy
Great.
Star vibes from Guard.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Awesome Star
Mhm.
situation, and
Yeah.
it makes me nervous.
Yeah, makes me real
We were
nervous.
talking about this last talk back. The day before we ran, 2 weeks ago, Anne sent a TikTok, a husky TikTok, of this big black wolf dog. And I was like, oh.
More of that you can get in the Discord. I
right.
promise you.
Anne
Mhm.
can't stop posting husky TikToks.
They're so good. I follow so many of them now for ideas.
It's a character study,
Yeah,
Mom.
it's a character study.
Yeah,
I'm a
did
real
Kia-
actor, Mom. I'm on
did-
Twitch.
Did we run out of Kia drugs, and now we need to get lost again to help the addicts from rioting?
Okay, listen, that's another worry that I'm having. I keep talking about this piece of Patreon content that Miles and I made, but Kia befriends people in Bessie's Rest, in Mercy's Rest,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
still, I don't like it. I don't like it, and Kia doesn't like it because it's like we totally colonized, and that's what we were doing in the first place. But what? But I have a huge worry that there is going to be some sort of riot, that there's going to be a moment where there's just no right in this situation. And I think
Yeah.
this is what makes this, actually, what this makes this entire campaign so incredibly unique is that it's really not a right and easy. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
there's
how,
no
like,
right situation here.
right, and that's the total like political thing. You really have to kind of put your eggs in one basket or the other, and some eggs are going to get cracked and turned into omelets, and you're not ready for those.
You're not ready to eat those omelets sometimes.
Yeah.
You got egg on your face.
I
That
know.
karmic cholesterol.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing that I think is like the idea. This whole thing about colonizing has been on my mind from the entire first
Mhm.
season because she's done her best to be like, hey, we just want to make your world better for the people who are not hurting other people on this world, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we are now set up in this capital city full of people who who to the best of her ability, I think Amaru granted mercy and said, you can live here as long as you want to like be nice to each other and don't hit your brother. You know what I mean? Like that, like as long as you follow mom's rules in the car, like everything is going to be fine. We're going to let you have all the things that you liked, but we're not going to be evil. Like we're just not going to we ain't going to fly that way. We ain't out here like that anymore. But at the same time, like she did take over a city and she is trying to bring a whole new group of people onto a planet that already had its own inhabitants. And so who's right? Like who's really right here? I don't know. I really don't. But there's so many things on Bright Claw, formerly Machul Alpha, that I'm so excited to explore. That whole city,
people.
the bear people, I want to be their best friend, Hundo P. I want
Still
to
haven't
explore
talked
that,
to
like,
them.
that
I'm
city.
like, kind of amazed.
That we had a lot going on, Miles. Okay, you're
yes.
throwing a lot
Other
at us.
Sentient creatures.
I can't wait to talk to whoever
No,
that guy
we'll
was
just
who
go
had the
and-
fuel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The fueling
What was his
station
name?
that we were like, we'll help you with this. Like we want to cut, like all of that.
James, right? James?
James.
Yeah, James.
Yeah.
James. Yeah.
I drew him.
So there's just a lot, and I'm really excited to, now that we've gone to Logic, right, and had this experience, to just like dive into what our lives look like as a party on this planet.
Yeah.
I'm
Stormwind,
really
I
excited
think
about that.
she was on her way to making everyone is happy bomb. I don't think she wants to make everyone is happy bombs anymore.
No.
Which I'm
No,
so
no.
pleased with. I'm so
There's
pleased. Oh, I'm
things
so
that have
chuffed.
happened. We're all chuffed. Chuff is the word of the night. Vocabulary word for the night is
Yeah.
chuff. And it's
Chuff.
a wonderful word, and Americans need to use it too.
Bear people, exactly. I absolutely did. Just more nudity on Starfound is what we need.
That's what we need. After dark.
Really?
I have a question for everybody.
Yeah.
If you could have played through one other person's vision,
Oh.
whose would you have wanted to experience as it was happening?
I don't
Probably
know.
Kia. Yeah.
I would say Caster
Is
because
this-
I like PTSD and D.
So this is like as a player, right? The kind of
as
play
a player,
that you enjoy.
As a player, what would you like? We all got our own customized
Yeah.
experience, but if you could have had somebody else's experience, what would you have
Yeah.
wanted to experience?
I would say Jabby's. I would say
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
very, I think when Jabby recognized that there was he seemed to recognize every single person that he saw in his vision.
Mhm.
People from his dark
That's
backstory.
an amazingly helpful question, Anne. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was curious.
Mine was Anne, so we all swip swapped.
Literally,
Yeah.
I
funny.
fucked it all up.
No, I mean,
That's
I
a
loved
joke.
my
That's a joke.
vision.
That's a joke.
Right.
No,
Right.
I love my
my
vision, but I really love like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, man, I would whenever I'm watching shows because I consume a lot of this content because I love watching people play storytelling games. I think, man, I would love an experience like that at the table.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I love that.
I was so happy to use my dueling sword.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
good.
I don't think I had it all. But season 2 Kia is a little different.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yes, I'm very,
It's
very
so
pleased
cool.
with the character growth.
Yeah.
I am. I. What am I trying to say? We were having a conversation about faith in role-playing games, on the Discord, and gods
Oh,
and
yeah, we
taking away
were.
power, and that's what inspired this whole thing. Because I've been like trying to figure out how to further this last little bit of growth. And I thought it was going to take a couple more episodes before we really started putting my hooks in Yukia, but
Oops.
Yeah,
that
I was
conversation kind of
mystic.
like, what was that?
Oh no, I was about to say I was a mystic with a god that wouldn't talk to me in any way.
I didn't.
Yeah.
One of the things that we mentioned in the Discord conversation, which actually is in our RPG conversation chat in the Discord, if you want to go look back at it, because it was a really cool conversation.
Mhm.
It came out of one of my patrons, I think Saint D, talking about how he had listened to a show where a DM had taken away a cleric's power, right? Mid-game. And I was like, that's exactly the kind of thing that I want to do to a player, because that in a game that is often a power fantasy, having that coin flipped occasionally is
really good.
it's so powerful. It
Yeah.
changes players, and it changes the
you-
way that people think about not just the game but their lives, right?
100%.
But-
But I also think that it is a particular relationship that you need to have with the people at your table
So
and
much.
the trust you have between the DM and the player and
Yeah.
discussions and things like that. Because I don't think we're out here saying like, so everybody should do that. If that's not the game that you want to play because it makes you feel unsafe, like then
Yeah.
absolutely don't do it.
Mhm.
But I think,
Yeah.
Miles, that we are at a table of people who want
Yeah.
that experience. I was actually kind of nervous for a second during my faith situation that I was being answered by the void.
Yeah, I thought about doing that to you, but I didn't.
I really thought that was what was happening because Amaruk's moat was a void moat until she got this call, until she heard from Desna.
Yeah.
Her moat was a dark butterfly
Yeah.
moat.
And I love that we gave you another language to talk about your light and dark sides. Anyways, I don't think I'm ever saying that everyone should play a single way ever.
Yeah, no one has ever said
Never.
that.
I will never say something like that, except for like, listen. Everyone should listen to each other at the table. That's one thing. Probably the only thing that everyone should do at tabletop role-playing game tables.
Yep.
I think that what's really, really important, and this that I think is not okay, is that I would never take away a paladin's oath. I would never force a paladin to break their oath and be like, oh, well, you have nothing now. I would never take away a cleric's power. I would never bereft Kia of her power, honestly.
Yeah.
Right? This was in a vision, and it was for a moment, and it was a moment of terror and fear and a potential. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times that I've had players come to me with a paladin and be like, I got all these cool powers. Can you please take them from me soon? Right? No one very few people who play paladins with me want to stay the nice, happy paladin. They want to end up blackguards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're just all part of
Yeah.
you know?
What was that? What was that, Parker?
All just want to be in Spider-Man 2. They just want to be Peter Parker losing his powers.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even
Yeah.
It's
Spider-Man 3, even better.
Yeah.
well,
Good
it's
lord.
I'm actually, not to be like, here's another game I'm playing, but I'm playing Curse of Strahd right now, which I know some of you are playing, and what I'm going to say
Everyone
has
else.
nothing to do with the plot of your game, so it will not ruin anything for you. But I have decided to play a someone who was a Vistani and did not know, and as a young child was like transported through the mists to Faerun, and then got transported back
And
after she left her temple. Oh no.
So cool.
Hello. Okay. Are we playing
Yeah,
the
no,
same
you just
character?
made a big boo boo, and now I know a lot about my character.
Helena, you
No,
don't.
no, that's not
No?
that's my creation.
Specific to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Specific to me.
So worried.
No, I haven't. No. This is
Hey,
a total
Afro,
Anne Richmond
welcome.
thing. I wouldn't tell you anything else.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
So
You're
that
right.
was a particular thing.
You
for
don't
me.
know. So, full disclosure, right?
Yeah.
Both of these people are playing the same person in Strahd, who is usually written in as an NPC, but I don't see Strahd going very interestingly without making one of these characters a PC, because you're dropped in the middle of a fucking shit show. And without any
it's
kind
real
of
bad
guidance,
over
it's
there.
like it's
I don't
just
know if
terrifying.
y'all been to Barovia,
Um,
but it's shit.
So like
It's not
without a guide, the world
Yeah.
is very it's too much, right? It's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it's like starting Skyrim. It's the feeling that I
Yeah.
got emerging from the vault in Fallout and being like everything's dead, and then I turned off my Xbox.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right? It's too much.
So to continue and get to my point, I guess, is that I wanted to play. Unlike other people, I wanted to play a paladin, or I guess like other people in Miles's estimation, that had a crisis of faith, that thought very much that they wanted to go home, but then realizes that they are home. So when you what happens when you have a party of people who want to go home, but you're learning more and more that you are home?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
scary. That's scary. And it's been that, aside from like being, pursued by I'm going to stop there. Yeah, that aside from being from there are a lot of other things that are, going on for that character, and making her question, oh, well, if I'm not really from Faerun and I'm a Vistani, what does that actually mean? And deep diving into my GM's interpretation of the Vistani culture and what they want across various differing, kind of groups of them and clans of Vistani.
And you're done.
It's been, it's been fun. No, there's nothing else there. Like it's just great.
I know you're just teetering at the edge of a bunch of things that I can't have my players.
I know.
Players,
they won't know. I would never do that.
Boop.
I ripped out someone's eye last game. It was great.
It was so good.
That
I
was
told
cool.
Anne, and Anne didn't respond. I was like,
I was busy. I'm
did she
sorry,
think
I
I
was
do
playing
a bad?
Destiny.
Yeah.
No.
no.
I think that's great. I'm sorry. I thought it was really great. I just was not paying attention at the time I was playing Destiny.
What was that? Would you say, Helena?
Oh no, I just said, yeah, Anne thought it was great. You should do it more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loved it.
I didn't hurt anyone in Anne's game, unfortunately.
I did have a question though.
Yeah.
Was that giant snake from season 1 on Brightclaw? Was that on that planet?
Yeah.
That was okay. So I was thinking, like, what if we got some vodka to go and hunt that thing? Would they want to hunt a giant thing?
But it's like
Maybe.
miles long.
True.
It's long and made of mist.
What if we made
I
a super weapon?
What if we made a super weapon?
Yeah, what if?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Great job for you.
Wait, so who are we going to give this apparent optical implant that we forgot I had in my bag?
Yeah, what is that?
Right. Let's go back a little bit of housekeeping for our post stream.
Yeah.
These cybernetic spheres replace your eyes entirely. You gain low light vision, as well as the ability to see infrared and ultraviolet light. They give you a +2 bonus to vision-based perception checks and allow you to notice some things people who can only see the red-violet light spectrum can't, including lasers from dark vision capacitors. Yeah.
Kia, do you want low light vision?
And no eyes.
No.
Doesn't it also? I
You
can't
can
remember.
pay a little bit to
Does-
get them cosmetically improved to look like
Yeah.
normal eyes.
Or
If that's the
I,
breaker. If you
because
don't
you
wanna
need
look
like
yeah.
Do you?
you
if
need
you get, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, you need like sufficient skill in oh god, like life science, I think.
But
well,
I
to
also
make
think
it
that
put in, but you could pay a doctor on
Oh yeah, of course.
on logic.
I think the
and
more
3 weeks
you
of healing
adjust,
would be great.
Yeah.
It's true.
the more you adjust your body, though, doesn't that affect your technomantic or mystic skill? Or is that
You're
just
stuck
other
in
games?
Shadowrun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Great.
I wish.
Then yeah, if I can
that's
get
cool.
them cosmetically done so that like they look like my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I like my dark void pools.
You can have
Yeah.
them.
You can have them.
Great.
For
Great.
500 credits, you can get that done.
Cool. I don't even know how much money I have.
Well, I gave you money, and I'm not giving you any more because I don't have any more.
I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, no, I'll take the eyes unless anyone else thinks, oh yeah, for 500 credits. Yeah.
What if Castor would like put them in implanted them into your eyes?
It would cost less.
It would.
Yeah. You want to make that life science check?
Irish, thank you so much for those 100 bits.
What? Just what?
Thank you.
You
got
bits,
bitted?
bits, bits, bits,
Bits, bits, bits.
Bits,
Oh,
bits,
I've
bits.
been bitten.
Mm.
Irish, thank you so
Bits.
much.
We done
Thank
be
you.
bit.
Irish, I haven't looked, but I'm going to shout the Discord at you again because
Yeah, please join us.
Hang out. You're so welcome. Also, I hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day inside. I hope you celebrated all on your own and didn't pass out.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Or put in the comfort of your own home.
Anime. Wow.
Wow.
Like that.
Bye.
Thank you, Afro. All right. Well,
Are you rolling for life science right now?
yeah.
Are we doing that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, do it.
Oof.
Put some eyes in my head, fools.
I just burped because I'm so anxious about your eyeballs.
Oh man.
What is up with Miles and eyeballs in these two games that I've been playing with him?
Eyeballs and
In the
bug
same
parts. He
week.
just, that's what he can't.
Eyeballs and bug parts. Bug parts scare us because they're sharp, and eyeballs scare us because they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Also, I had pink eye for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Fair. Fair.
What'd you get, Caster? What'd you?
I don't know. I'm gonna roll my special dice.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Damn it.
That was a 19.
Great.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Boom. Done.
Boom.
Easy peasy.
What do you
Done.
see?
Boom, boom, boom.
Eyes.
Easy breezy, beautiful eyeball.
Yeah,
girl.
you can
Wait,
see the
but
infrared and
now-
ultraviolet spectrum, and you get a +2 to vision-based perception checks.
That's awesome.
Super great.
So for the next like week or so, I'm gonna probably have a little blindfold on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your entire head is gonna be wrapped.
Yeah, no,
That's
absolutely.
cool.
And like,
Oh man, wait. Okay, go back into the story.
Wait,
Miles,
can I
Miles, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Retcon, right? So the first time you take the wrap off
Yeah.
is when you roll over and you see that thing.
Yeah.
Like has to be how
Yeah.
it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless
That's
you feel
cool.
differently, but that's where my head went.
Yeah.
That is great.
That's
Oh
really
my
cool.
God.
Hmm.
Well, I just realized I had a friend I could have given them.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's not set in stone. You could still give it to a friend.
What do you? Who? Oh,
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're like, no, these are my eyes now.
I'm not giving them. I'm not giving.
So folks, I noticed
Kia's
we do have a
fucking
couple.
learning. Nice. Thank you.
We have a couple new folks in the chat. I wanted you to be made aware that we do this every Thursday. We
Yes, we
play Starfound, And now we know we can, guys. We can do this with our new remote setup, which is so good. And we're hoping to make that better and better as we go.
I posted the crazy shit that I have to do to make this work perfectly on my Instagram. So check it out at Miles Duff Games.
So,
miles away from.
So basically, the way to get those emotes that you see in the channel, there's a Jabby emote, there's a Bug Parts emote, and there is an Amarukyuka emote coming for level 1. It will literally be as soon as it's approved after this is over. It was finished while we were on stream, not by me, but by Pup. And so I'm going to load that up, and as soon as it's good, you'll be able to get it. So if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because when we get to 50 subscribers, we get another slot, and we can add another emote. So we really, really want to do that. We're well on our way there. But if you are able to, and you have a Twitch Prime subscription, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a Twitch subscription that's free every single month. So please consider using it here, because it costs you nothing and it means everything to us. And more emotes. So hype.
I'm super excited about that. I think we're at time.
Yeah.
It's 45 past. So thank you all so much for coming by, either for the talk back or for the game itself. We'll be back next week. I mean, Anne and I will be playing Destiny tomorrow, and we have a raid crew. We'll be doing our first raid tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh boy, you can watch me do another jumping puzzle.
Yes.
I'm really excited.
When we got there, and you were like, you see many floating platforms. I was like, kill me. Kill me.
No.
This man has my number, and he's trying to shame me on the internet. No, I'm very excited.
So tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be kicking off some Destiny, probably raiding with Saint D, who works for Destiny, which is kind of cool, and a bunch of other community members. We also have a clan on the Discord, so come join us. Oh, so do we, Master Stormwind.
Tossed in the Twitch, the link to Geeks for Good, so make sure you go over there and give them a follow if you haven't yet, so that you get a notification when we go live with all that Destiny goodness. And Miles is playing a lot of Animal Crossing and doing a lot of world building and all that jazz as well. I will be streaming next on Saturday in the afternoon, I believe at 2 p.m. Eastern. I will begin my Bard Bonanza, which is when I play Twitch Sings all till I die. I play Twitch Sings for like 4 hours and let you guys vote on the songs you want me to sing from my playlist. We might be trying to do a bit of a party there and getting other people in the Twitch Sings party feature. So you may have other guest artists joining me, and we will be raising money for Child's Play charity. So consider stopping by.
Fantastic. And as always, we have a Patreon that helps to support Starfound's production. So please head over to patreon.com/StarfoundPod. It's going in the chat. We're making all of this really easy for you guys. So stop being lazy and go give us money.
Sweet.
And we're also on all the social medias with regular updates and regular additional patron content, which goes up weekly, mostly when nothing goes crazy.
Anyone can see it.
And now, exactly, during quarantine, it's all free. We've rambled at you enough. Thank you so much for your support and for your time. We hope that you'll like and follow us everywhere and give us positive feedbacks on iTunes, especially. Oh my God. If everyone watching now goes over and gives us like a stupid positive review on iTunes, that would bump our viewership numbers legitimately. 100%. Because the reviews are the thing that iTunes really
makes you show up.
Looks for, right? So thank you all so much for watching, for lurking, for participating, and we'll see you next week on Starfound! We were too loud and made everyone quiet. All right.
Starfound.
See you soon, y'all. Peace.